As far as I know, they worked. They had to have been questioned separately to be passed the polygraph. But at the same time, I don't know if they all passed them at one time. There were several stories about that. Now they supposedly they passed polygraph, but it took a little while to do that.
Supposedly.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't know for sure. Supposedly. Okay, so there's a supposed, so we don't know if they passed the polygraph.
Exactly. We do that, like I said, but it just completely. I know the police are bad about. They're good about. They can tell stories they want to. They can lie and get away with it. Just like pushing the fact that they lawyered up. There's a reason why the law would come out. Why Ronnie Lawson would say they lawyered up.
Who lawyered up? The family, the parents.
Yeah, who claimed that they did. Now all he did was see if he can get one of them to conjecture when they could come back and say something, and they did. Grant has come back, and she's the first one that opened up about that because there's no kind of. They're trying to get to a point of trying to get some information. We've got a couple of questions out here in the chat. When did Grandis spoke of swim on news interview? Did she say Summer went swimming at place, or did she say we took Summer swimming at? I can't remember what she said on that, sweetheart. And there's something about this right here. He's a 15-year-old that's hanging out with a 5-year-old and says that the 5-year-old is one of his best friends, which is weird. It's true. And also, this is a 15-year-old that the mother.
Who said
Summer?
that?
That's H. That's the one we're talking about. H. That was in the car.
That stayed in the car with Summer.
Saying that's her best friend. And also, this is a 15-year-old that has been basically allegedly having relations with the mother. I mean, that right there is conjecture, and that's been a thorn on my side the entire time. You shouldn't be saying it. We don't know the truth about that, but that's what rumor was.
But you know what, dude? You know what? You can't put anything past people nowadays, though. Too.
No, you can't.
You have to think like down dirty sometimes. You, for all we know, if there's drugs involved, they're goddamn right that kid could be screwing around with the mom.
Exactly.
They could be in some really weird, twisted shit. Yeah, they could be.
Not sit there and say that it's innocent. Oh, they come over and smoke a joint here and there, bullshit. That ain't innocent. I don't care what you say. There ain't none of that shit innocent.
Any person like that, having a 15-year-old over there in that kind of situation, in that kind of environment.
And look, a narcissist person can pass a polygraph test. You can pass if you believe a story enough. You make yourself believe what you're saying is true.
Yeah,
you can pass polygraph. That's why they're not admissible in court. The only way they're admissible in court is if both sides agree to allow them in. And that ain't never going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, that's impossible. It's impossible to say that. But they're sickening. You can't. I mean, I know. Like I said, I know you are too. You want to be. You're innocent until proven guilty. You want the truth to come out. You don't want rumor mill from YouTube or anybody else to solve this case. That ain't gonna happen. But the truth's got to come out. To be clear, the truth ain't gonna come out with all the hearsay. But you got to look at the extenuating. You got to look at the backgrounds. You cannot help to do that. Not look at the background. You got to look at what they've done in their past and see that these people are.
So abuse is definitely on the table. There's abuse, neglect, possible SA, like you guys are talking about. So there are definitely those factors in this picture.
Exactly.
That's the best way to look at it, man. Especially if there's, you can't ignore the abuse because I grew up in an abusive family, man. That's just generational, man. And
that's it. It happens. We're all survivors in one shape, form, or fashion, and we've all dealt with it. You can see the signs. You can see it. It's written all over the place. Yeah. There's been people that's worked with Don Wells. Again, when I say testimony, I'm saying people that have talked to people on YouTube that might have been paid to say what they got to say. You never know. These people, they're sick. They'll get anything to twist something up, trying to make it look more interesting. But you've got people that's worked with them. And the big key between that is the people have all come out and said the same scenarios, that the boys would come to work with Don. They'd be smoking weed, shit like that with Don, the oldest boy. I mean, this is weird shit that's going on. These are parents that claim that they'd be lackadaisical to any kind of world. Even when he claimed to his accusations of SA with his own stepsisters, he said we was all children then. That was back in the day, man. Yeah, she came on to me. She showed me hers, so I showed her mine. That's the kind of shit you're dealing with. But that's a narcissist that is never going to show any kind of admission to anything. He's blaming somebody. He even claims that Candace's choice of friends.
Yeah,
he thinks he did to deflect anything else away from him.
There's like a lot of.
Candace was mentally and
there was also speculations that Dawn, whenever she found out she was pregnant with a third, fourth child, she did not want it because it was a daughter, because it was a girl. She found out it was going to be a girl. Her mother, Grandis, was going to take custody of the child due to the fact that she had just lost her other child, Rose, years earlier when Rose came up missing. Kind of like she wanted to give the child up to the public, foster care. But when Don found out it was a damn female or it was going to be a girl, that he said, I want that child. And it's the shaving of the heads. Why they shaved the heads, I understand. I can see that as being, they claimed that it was because one of them, she shaved her head because she went up to something about the scissors, got a hold of scissors or some shit like that. Didn't make no sense.
Shaved whose head?
Yeah, when they shaved.
You have to fill in on the gaps. Like
when she shaved Summer's head. Summer had short hair.
Okay.
Instead of coming out and saying that everybody's had kids, you know damn well how lice are in school. Lice can get a hold of kids on a heartbeat and just terrorize the hell out of a child. So you shave their hair. Sometimes it's easier to put rid in it to get rid of the hair. I mean, get rid of the hair and it gets rid of them lice. It makes it easier to look for. I had a daughter with a thick head of hair. I know how that is, and it can affect you. So I can see the point of doing that. But instead of doing that, they said that she just done it because she was doing it because her mama shaved her head. Don't know why the hell her mama shaved her head. Then it was also said that the mama shaved her head because the little girl got a hold of scissors. And they're in the same conversation in front of the interview with the reporters, and they're telling two different contradictory stories.
Have mom and dad's story ever changed?
No.
There's none of them. Yeah, there's well, depends on which story you're looking at. And too much, Mom, I am staying focused on this, but I'm also at the same time, the veering off is through the changes of the stories. Just to be clear now, we're only going where the story's taking us. If you listen to all the stories, if you don't see a veering off of the stories from the actual key, what I call people involved, then there's a problem because there is a veering off of stories.
Who were the last three to be seen with her? Who was last with her?
Well, it's supposed to have been her three brothers, because the mother claims that she walked her to the house and turned her over to her brothers in the side watching TV. And then that was it. And that's the last time she seen her. When she come back in, she said, she went downstairs to play with her toys. The boys claim that they seen her go downstairs. That's where it all goes away. You've got three minors right there that have basically been claimed to have been the last ones to see this child. Now, where do you go from there? The adults have washed their hands of it.
But we also said earlier, too, she could have been missing prior to.
She could have. There's a big possibility of that. It could be simple as them taking the groceries out of the car and her being just happened to wander off.
The tree trimmers saw her that day.
Yeah.
So she was there that day. They know she was there that day.
Right. But I could see a pattern. They always keep pointing at the swing. I could see her getting out of that truck and wanting to go play on her swing. Running around the corner to get on her swing.
Okay.
Where the truck was pulled up at the house for them to unload groceries, her going around the backyard to the swing, and a possibility of something being there waiting on her. Possibility. Or something, or her falling off that swing, some scenario could have happened. It's not that they neglected the child. The child could have got out of their hair. They're in their yard. What more protected place to be in your yard when the child gets out and wants to go play on her swing?
Plus they went on
and the next thing you know, something happens. That scenario could have quite possibly happened.
Fell off, hit her head.
Fell and hit herself.
Happened to my brother one time.
Or anything on the ground. But
happened to my brother one time. He was playing on a swing, fell down, hit his head, and split his head wide open, man.
Yeah, it could happen. Very much so. And the freaking out point of her calling, she calls Don prior to calling 911. She calls Don prior to calling 911. Could there have been a possibility of something happening? And Don freaking out, no, don't do that. Knowing it damn well, they already got CPS after. Could have been a possibility of the neglect factor, of him trying to be on top of his game.
Again, gut instinct. Something happened there at the problem.
Something happened at that house.
Yeah, and they got really fucking scared.
I don't think she ever made it in the house. I don't think she ever made it downstairs. I don't think that she ever made it in the house. That's my opinion. If something neglectful happened, if something happened to her, she never made it in the house. She got out of that truck whenever they were delivering it, because so much emphasis was putting on the fact that they pulled up, they were unloading the groceries, they were separating the groceries to give to Grandis her groceries she had bought, and to give Candace hers and put them in the house. There was so much emphasis put on them groceries that there's a possibility that a child could have wandered back around the corner, got on a swing, and something might have devastating happened to her. That's simple. But they've created so much of a nightmarish story now, trying to protect that fact.
Sammy Johnson, when I watch her how swing is, when I watched how swing is close to tree, summer swing, it's so easy to bang up against that tree. Them steps were dangerous. Yeah, I keep hearing about these steps.
Yeah. It could be easy as the damn swing itself was a piece of wood, wouldn't it? The swing itself could have come right. She could have went to get on it, missed it, and when she turned around, Mom went and hollered at her, and next thing you know, the swing come back and hit her right in the head. I mean, things like that can happen.
But the parents have every reason to cover this up.
Very much so. I believe if it I don't know why. I think that there's fear. I think out of fear. I don't know if it'd be they have every reason to cover it up. I think that they went too far with it. I think there's a possibility with the neglect factor. This could have happened to anybody. but they were under a microscope at the time that they kept ignoring the facts and possibilities of what was going on. They were not talking to CPS. The point of them evading CPS out of the results of his prior actions prior in his past.
That's a red flag for CPS. That's going to make CPS going to want to go inside that house even more to be like, what the fuck are these people hiding?
Could they have been in fear? Could it have been as simple as that right there? Could it be simple as they were scared to death somebody was going to blame them for that child? I see that as a possibility. I can't deny that. Not saying the parents was at fault. A 5-year-old kid gets out of the car wanting to go do something.
Gets hurt, gets hurt playing, yeah.
Does anybody out there, does that scenario fall into y'all's path? Y'all put one out there if you believe. I'm not saying you believe it, but could that possibility hold water? I see it can hold water.
So you guys know that, I say we, but it's like you guys, because again, I'm new to the case. I'm sitting here thinking with you guys. Y'all know she made it back to the property from the grocery store, right?
I believe she did. I believe she made it back. I believe she did. I think she was sleeping, and she could have been just simply sleeping in a car. She got out of the car. When she got home, she was energetic. She was ready to get out. She didn't play her butt off at the park. Everything was fine. I don't think she hit her head in the park. I don't think none of that. I think she got out and went to run to the swing. In my mind, I think something happened to her on that swing. I keep going to that swing from day one. I've always had a thought about that swing. But it's just always been in my head that she accidentally finally fell. I mean, she's a 5-year-old. That was her favorite place. That's why her dad keeps putting adamant thoughts about that as her favorite place. He's done it in so many videos. I think she made it back to the house okay. I think she was alive then, and I think something might have happened that was unexpected, an accident, and but you don't right. He's right, man. School. You don't know what to believe, but I believe that could have been a possibility if they just come out and tell the damn truth and be done with it. Because
you said there's about a 4-hour gap.
It depends on which way you look at it. There's a several hour gap that could be minimized to that. I mean, you got the other. You got other scenarios that fall into place. Don Wells was adamant about he never left work that day. Truth become that he did leave work. He left work for probably 40 minutes at 3:30 in the afternoon. He took off prior to that. He drove the Subaru to work that day. He usually drives the work truck.
What time did Candace call Don?
I want to say it was about 5:30.
So the accident happened.
And that's what, I believe it was. I may be mistaken. Y'all help me out on the chat. It's been a while.
Law was called at 6:29.
6:29 or 6:25 or something like that. Whenever she called, either she called FBI, called 911, or Don Wells did. Don Wells called him too on the way home. But there was of course, when you can't find your child, if that scenario went down, I can see them going looking for the child before they call 911. I know it's not going to be a quick call. You're not going to sit there and say, hey, I'm calling 911 as soon as 5 minutes later my child's gone. No, you're going to go look for your child. And right, Lisa, everything's debatable. But you're going to look for your child first. And then if all your resources are gone, you don't have no other way of finding her, you don't know where she's at, then that's when you call 911. So I can see an hour going by with the child being gone. You trying to go down the road and see if she might wander down the road. But at the same time, you're claiming this child does not wander off. It's kind of sketchy. I think they created a facade trying to make it where somebody else could be blamed instead of the fact that the child could have accidentally fell and hurt herself, just to protect the parents from being sick, being hit with any kind of neglect.
I'm following you there.
I mean, I think they've really created a facade, and they've been helped by all these damn so-called advocates that claim to be there for the kid. They've allowed these parents to do this by just completely destroying the whole story. This child could have met an untimely death on accident, pure on accident, nobody's fault whatsoever. The parents are innocent, but because of what they're guilty of with the other shit going on, they took the effort of building this big facade, and created a mountain out of a molehill. That's what I see. That's why the 3 kids are taken away from them, because of their past, not because of what happened this summer. That's the obvious.
Even Dr. Phil couldn't get the truth out of it.
I mean, even Dr. Phil couldn't get the truth. They had a feeling that summer, they all said that Candace knew more than what she was saying.
Mom knows that. Mom knows exactly what happened.
I think Grandis knows too, and Grandis won't say a word. That's the grandmother.
That's why I'm always going to go back to the mom, because the mom is always going to know where their child is.
That's the way I've always felt. My mother knew exactly where I was at all the time. She knows exactly what's going on. Even when I bullshit, she knew I was bullshit.
Did mom want the child?
I don't know. I don't know of anything about that. No. There's also, like Sammy Johnson said, there's also about the child might have been intoxicated. See, the rumor is that there's some kind of stuff they're mixing with Sunkist. Now, there's a picture taken of the child in the back of the car with a Sunkist bottle laying there, a brand new Sunkist bottle. What they do is they mix this stuff in the Sunkist and they drink it. and it does something. Some kind of drugs they mix with it, and the kids drink. They make women drink it, or men, all people, adults drink it. That it was for some reason that the child seen the orange drink and might have got a hold of the orange drink in the back of the car. That was another speculation, and that's good. That still falls in line. The child might have drank some of it, maybe not drink all of it.
Ingestion, but didn't have anybody to test.
When she got out, she wasn't thinking clearly, then fell, hurt herself. It still could fall in the same line. But there's got to be, and that could lead to the fact of why they actually are going through so much trouble to bury this case, to make it not look like they had anything to do with it. Why are they trying to make this look like abduction?
Methadone mixed with the orange.
Methadone mixed with orange crush. Yeah, thank you, Mystical. There's a possibility. We don't know what she went to the hospital for, or anything that could mimic methadone, which could be hydrocodone.
Grandma said that she didn't feel
hydrocodone, yeah.
She didn't feel good. I think what they call it is lean, like you put hydrocodone,
or something like that. Yeah, it's cough syrup or anything. Yeah, but they mix it together and give them the same kind of. I've never tried it that way. I don't know. When I was in my day, when I done meth, it was the old fashioned way. It wasn't this stupid shit.
Yeah.
But there's all kind of different ways. It's like hydrocodone. That's like codeine out of med. I've seen it where they're doing things with the bottles of syrup, cough syrup. They're breaking it down. It's almost like they're doing a centrifuge. Spinning around on a string. It's a bunch of crazy shit they go. But the edibles, or that could have been edibles of some kind. They think that it is a possibility, and the rumor is that it's not really rumors, but it's speculation that possibly. What it creates is that there's no proof of meth, none of that proof. That's right. That's not what I was saying about that. That's not what I mean.
There is history of drug use, though, right?
There's history of drug use, yeah.
They did say that one of them did have.
But now they did that, from what I gathered, and I cannot tell my source. I'm not going to do that.
Nope.
No, they didn't have no methadone or nothing. There was no proof of that. But I'm saying that was just a conjecture story, Kim. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say that's what was. I'm not trying to mislead anybody. The fact is, there's so many open doors that you can go through. And these parents are not allowing any of these doors to be closed with the way they act. Now, I want the truth to come out. But when the speculations and all that are being screwed around and being pushed by all these so-called scammers, they're leaving these doors open. They're not asking the right questions.
Mom and dad have the same story, though? Exact same story?
It depends on who they're talking to. The stories, you can see a lot of rehearsing in the stories, but at the same time, yes, as far as that day, see, the mom and dad wasn't there together during that day.
My question,
John can say,
it's like if they're saying this story so many times over, so perfect,
it happened, right?
So perfect.
Exactly.
So
it doesn't change much. There's not much change at all. The only thing that changes is the extra shit, like the colorful stuff, like for instance the red truck.
It's like a script that day, Christina's sack. Okay.
Yeah, he claims that he's seen it that day. Then he comes back the next day and he has these so-called scammers that sitting there. They're trying to protect him and cover up. They claim that no, he didn't mean that truck. I mean, stuff like that. It's the stuff that he tries to ad lib, because when you're letting him control the narrative, when you let a narcissist control the narrative, they want to keep controlling it. They'll actually, you can't. Yeah. They won't ever answer the question. They never answer the question you've asked them.
My dad, I just had a conversation with my dad. My dad's a textbook fucking narcissist, man, and it broke my heart, dude. Fucking killed me to hear him say some shit the other day. I was like, oh my God. Yeah. My dad's a textbook narcissist. And I sent him some videos. I was like, Dad, you need. This is not bullshit. And it is. It had to do with abuse, dude. Yeah. And it was like, dude, Dad, that's fucked up. Like, you're a textbook narcissist, dude. I understand now. I get it. And like what you're saying, I had questions, and you know what he wouldn't do? Answer them. And then flip the narrative on me when I got upset because he was beating around the bush. I'm like, oh, you can't answer these simple questions.
That's right. Well, they gaslight a lot too.
And that's why, again, going back to the narcissism in the family, it's like they have a lot to lose. It sounds like they don't want to go to jail.
No, hell no.
Nobody wants to go to jail.
There's no kink. If you can't kink the arm, that's like it's showing an emotion. Like if you won't see one cry. They'll make it. They'll turn on somebody else, so somebody else will display the emotion that they want to feel, because they're so scared of somebody seeing a niche in them, a weakness. Yeah, they can't have a weakness. They're scared of a weakness. Yeah. So you can see that the way he hugs up on Candace, or when he hugs up on his son. Don Wells is a textbook narcissist. He's eat up with it. To get him to come out and tell the truth, you got to separate him. When you get him by himself, he's fidgety. He's real calm. He's real fidgety. Now he won't. He don't have none of the facial expression he has, but he's fidgety.
You know,
and he'll try to bounce around the question. He won't ever answer the question.
You know, they need to bring Jim Smythe down from Canada and have him interrogate those two sons of bitches, man.
That's it.
Separately.
Well, they tried it with the behavior panel. The behavior panel tried to investigate him before Dr. Phil got a hold of him. Look, to me, it seems like there's so much questions being thrown at him like they don't want the truth. It's almost like everything's being dramatized. Everything is for the views and for the clicks.
Yeah.
The truth is there, man. The truth is right there. And why are they not asking the right questions? And of course, when I asked to talk to him after I said I was never going to put him on the channel because I didn't think it was right.
They're not asking the right questions.
They're
asking all the wrong questions.
They're asking the questions exactly. He's controlling the narrative by them being the way they are because you're dealing with narcissists all the way around. You got narcissists that don't want to close this case. They want to keep it open due to the fact that they're making money off of it. And you got the parents that are not going to give you the definite answer. So they're working hand in hand. They don't even realize it.
Well,
one of the best interrogations I ever saw was with Russell Williams and Jim Smythe.
Mm-hmm.
If they brought that guy down and he would crack him, guaranteed. This guy, I watched this guy interrogate a textbook narcissist. They shortened the video down, but it was a 9-hour interrogation, and he cracked him. This guy was a pilot in the Canadian Air Force. He was murdering women and assaulting them like SA, but like real violently. And they caught on to him, and they brought him in. This guy sat him down, and this interrogation is textbook, man. Right. If you guys out there have seen it, I recommend you watch it and watch how this guy, watch how this interrogator, just blew it out of the water.
I want to say this right quick. That's true, Kim. You're exactly right. When we're bringing these up, all we're doing is going back through the scenario to see where everybody was led. I'm not wanting any of this to be spread as being factual. All these rumor mills and everything. You got to understand. We know what we've got basis on what we've got from what we've seen from all the facts. Now, all the hearsay and innuendos, all that was speculation because that's how people run with it. That was my point on that. And I'm not trying to misconstrue that. I appreciate you, Kim, saying that.
Yeah, 100%.
That was the throw out from being the mixture when people doing it with them. That's where people are easy to run with. And that's what speculation. And you don't have none of these people that are actually trying to stop any of this shit. All I'm saying is there is the room for speculation. What I'm getting at is from the actions of the parents themselves, not off the speculations from the rumor mills here on YouTube. But yes, that's not a rumor that needs to be spread. But she's right about that.
The parents allowed the rumors though by not.
They don't address them. They're not addressing.
Yep. Well, that's what I was going to say. You got the school. If the school had it saw something, why didn't the school?
Well, there was moments of there was also talk about the kids were missing school.
Right.
We don't know if the school. The parents never seen. Summer never seen school.
But CPS could have went to that school and took them
but
kids.
Summer was never in school.
No, Summer wasn't, but the boys were.
That's true. I understand that.
They could have jumped into the school. We have seen that where they have taken kids from the school because of neglect because they couldn't never kick them home.
Definitely. But I mean, they already know that the way that the news was hit about CPS was down undegraded. No, I don't think Ernie had anything to do with it. Ernie is just nothing but a peon that's trying to grab a hold of something and run with it. She was enrolled in kindergarten. You're right, Kim, but she had not made it to school yet.
Was that going to be her first year?
That was going to be her first year.
Okay, so she hadn't made it to school yet. Okay,
no, she had not made it.
Because by law, if a teacher sees neglect or
exactly, that would have been to me. And that I can't help but say that, but that gives speculation there. Her being 5 years old, just like I said the other night, that possibility I could see somebody going with that about she's fixing to be able to start seeing friends, she's going to meet friends, or things going to come out. If that was conjecture, like I said, but it's all rumors. We don't know the truth. All we can go by is what their actions, what they've done, but it does not clarify say that they had anything to do with his child. Do I feel like neglect was involved? I don't even think it's that much. I think they made a mountain out of a molehill. I believe this child could have easily fell and hurt herself, and these parents chose to cover it up this way. It was completely out of line and completely made a bigger mountain out of it than what it was. And I believe by doing that, it has created this damn pariah.
It's created the rumors. It's created the lies and the rumors. Yeah.
By just instead of telling the truth of what happened, it would have been a whole lot easier. They might have had to do it a little bit in trouble. I mean, from what they've done before, but to me, I believe they made this bigger than what it was.
I'm wondering if it was like a passive type of neglect.
I don't know. I think
maybe
I don't think it was more hands-on. I think it was that. I think it was more of neglecting the kids, not the household being disarray. There's different kinds of neglect. I understand that. But as far as hands-on, I don't think it was that. I wouldn't think.
What's the level of neglect that?
Oh, they were on the what was it? It's the number one
Well, when they got taken out of there, whenever they were actually taken away from it, was number one priority. It was life endangerment.
Yeah. I mean,
that's what it was listed, but that could be a wide range. That could be a wide range of things. That could be reason.
The house tore up, I'm guessing. I mean, if they were
the house was just in disarray. They don't think they had indoor plumbing at the time in the bathroom or the shower. But they've worked on that since then. They got it taken care of. I know that. But there was issues with the way the house was, all that. But it just because it's listed under being life-threatening situation, the number one priority. A lot of times when you come get kids, they list that under priority one no matter what. Because they're coming to the house, they're wanting to try to make sure that gets handled later on in court. So they'll go ahead and say that. So I don't know the gist of that. I do know that from people that I've done, I'm not going to relieve my sources. I don't give a damn who you are. You ain't getting my sources. Aha, it ain't going to happen. But the state of the fact is, right now, there's nothing been done as far as trying to get the kids back to suffice to get the kids back. One event was taking place where the children were to meet with the mother and father. They canceled it due to the fact is they was not going because it was too far for them to drive. Now that was written in paperwork. I will not give my sources up, and I'm not going to. That'll come out eventually. But the fact of the matter is, they did not put forth the effort. Now, also, in 60 days, that's 2 months, if the judge grants this approval, these kids can be put up for adoption.
Okay, I wanted to get this out before I brain farted. So 2 days prior to the incident, CPS was supposed to come in.
After 2 days after,
17th. 2 days after. I'm sorry, 2 days after.
Yeah, they're supposed to show up on the 17th, and then the 15th when she went missing. Oh, I know, and I'm not saying, Kim, I know that's not what I'm saying, sweetheart. I'm not saying, you're right. There's a lot of people. Look, in the state of Florida, let me be clear about it. In the state of Florida, you don't have to have running water.
Yep.
You don't have to have power.
Yep.
You can still, as long as you got a roof over your head.
Yep. You
can have kids. They're not going to take your kids away from you just for not having power or anything. As long as you've got a roof over the head, it can be a tent, whatever it is.
It's like
they're not going to come take your kids away from not having power. As long as you got food and everything like that, you're not starving these kids. That's the way it is. It's not going to take them away just because they didn't have running water. That's not what I'm getting at. I'm just saying those things can be listed in a paperwork by CPS, even though it's not going to be the reason why. That can be listed in the paperwork, and it's up to the judge and the courts to figure out what's going to happen with that. But yeah, that's not mean that they're not, going to take them away.
So were they just coming in to evaluate, or were they actually coming in?
There was reports putting on them. Now, mind you, these reports.
Okay, so reports. Okay.
These reports were based on. They could have been from look. Everybody's been down these roads too, and all y'all can agree. You got a friend, your ex-friend of yours, somebody that y'all end up getting out with. It don't take nothing for somebody to call CPS on you, just out of the blue, just out of revenge or whatever it is. Some of these reports could have been that, but they keep stacking them up, and eventually somebody comes into it and wants to interview about it. Well, when you go to ignoring them, you don't answer them. That's whenever they start questioning. But yeah, some of these reports could have been from damn pissed off neighbors. They could have been from people they had a damn house with. It could have it's very easily could have been that. I'm not saying it's not, but the timing and everything that fell into place is what it looks like. And whenever you ignore them and what their reports are, they ignore them several times. And protective custody, that's what Don Wells wanted to tell us. He said it was in protective custody. Either way you look at it, they took the kids out of there in protective custody now. It doesn't matter if that was the case or not. There was an investigation going on. 17th supposed to be the day they supposed to report it. They gave them a leeway due to the fact the child came up missing. Well, it might be under 16. That might be the truth. But I know it might be the new law under 16. But yeah, above that. But I do know that you don't have to have all that for certain ages. But she might be true about under 16 in Florida. I apologize for that. You might be true. We didn't deal with this situation before with my brother and all of that. But I know they were, which his was all over 16 at the time. They was all seniors and juniors in high school. But that's good policy. I mean, I appreciate you telling us that. But just because you don't have that does not mean that's the first thing they're going to come take kids about. Somebody's got to report you for that for it to come out. I mean, everybody's had the power turned off. Hell, without them paying the bill. I mean, they're not just going to come around there and say, "Oh, your kid's going away if you get the power turned off." You've got to go a long period of time without that. But I appreciate you sharing that with us, Bam Kid. But
they need to interrogate mom.
They do. They need to be something to put hard on it. I mean, something. Look, like I said, it could be simple. It could be simple as that child falling, hurting herself.
Did they allow investigators to go on the property and actually do a thorough search of the whole 11 acres?
See, that's what gets me. There's all kind of little. You got the house. The house is there's holes. There's a crawl space underneath the house. You'd think that would have been the first place they'd look. It's all the sand and everything underneath there with the blocks. You can see that as being a place that I would look right off the bat. If they were missing child, that would have been the first place I'd look. You know they had to look. They had cadaver dogs. They looked all over the place. These dogs would have found something. But again, in the case of a bear, there's no way you can tell me that bear ain't gonna make a mess unless that bear drugged that child somewhere. Now a big cat would do that. It would take something off. Big mountain cat.
Big mountain cat would take it up in a tree though and hide it.
Take it up somewhere and you never see it, and they let it sit there. Just sort of same thing. I'm not trying to get in that morbid situation, but that would happen.
Yeah.
But
this is part of thinking outside the box, though. Is it possible? Yeah, big mountain cat. There's mountain lions up there, and that's what cats are known to do. Up a tree.
That's true. Very simple. I mean, you can see them. The cats are very strong. Very able to do that. Do I think that happened?
I don't. Yeah, I don't think it's animal.
But I don't think it. I think something happened at that house, and that they made a big issue of protecting themselves at the cost of what's going on. I really do believe it. I don't believe that David Dawson or any of these people, these suspects, had anything to do with this. This was just piss poor timing on their part.
Yeah, the dog would have tracked it.
Several dogs, all the dogs. I mean,
dogs have the best noses.
The dogs was all in the damn. They had dogs that was running wild in that yard. They would have seen a damn bear or somebody like that walking up in that yard. They would have known that bear was there. There's no way that
would have flipped out.
Tracking her down to the end of the driveway.
But the dogs claimed that the story was, and I don't know if the police people said this or not. They tracked the whereabouts of this child, down to the bottom of the hill, down to the dog trail that Don Wells took us through in his video. They tracked her down to that stop where the asphalt hit, and that's the last place they seen her. I just, I don't believe that. I don't believe that could have happened. You would hear, even grandma sitting on her porch while she's planting flowers, you would hear somebody tramping through them woods up that trail, because that trail was not an easy trail to go through.
Well, why would you bring tracking dogs?
How would you time that just right? How would you know that unless you followed them home? Unless you followed them home and sit at the bottom of the hill and knew that place real well. You'd have to be sitting there and wait for the opportunity to go in that back door that is usually locked of the basement. To go in there and pick up a child and then take a chance of that child when you get outside that don't know you, unless you know the child, that child raising hell or seeing grandma on the porch of her place that you can still see. How could you do that? It wasn't a wild animal. I didn't say it was. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying the theory has to be opened up. That's why the policeman said that. They're looking at all angles still. But the abduction theory just is not holding enough water. They're not finding enough substantial evidence to go that way. And these people are trained in this field. They're not us. We're want to be sleuths. We're nobody. But the fact is, these people are not coming up with any kind of evidence to prove it that way.
Well, why wouldn't they?
That's all I'm saying.
Don and Candace's dogs up.
Nobody gonna climb up.
The other tracking dogs there. Knowing them dogs is gonna follow them.
And then Don to say the dogs was gone that day. Just out of the blue, the dogs was gone that day. And the other day, the dogs was there, but they were gone that day.
But they're family pets, right? These dogs are family pets.
People, he claims they drop off dogs left and right around there. But they feed them. They take care of them. They're all stray dogs. But they were just all coincidentally gone that day when the child disappeared. Now that opened the door. He puts that in the scenario with the abduction theory. No, there's no evidence of abduction. It didn't happen either. But the point is, this far in this damn case, you think they would have found something. The angle, they're just not holding up.
But again, if they found something in a case like this, you know what they're not. They're going to shut the fuck up about it.
They're damn right.
Not going to say a goddamn thing about it.
They're not be asking for any more information.
Yeah,
if they knew that.
Yeah, absolutely right. That's my point exactly in this. Something I've learned through doing stuff on my channel, if there's an investigation going on, I know one thing. I'm going to say, if you start tying yourself up in the investigation, man, they don't like that. They don't like that. They get pissed at that.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, that's true. It has not been taken off the table. The abduction theory is not off the table. I'm not saying that they're investigating that theory, to be clear. I don't care what anybody says. All these damn liars come out there and tell you that they're saying there's no investigating the abduction. Bullshit. They're not.
And again, little girls, dude, little blonde haired little girl.
It's a possibility. They're still investigating that. So for people to go out there and try to say that, she was not taken, something happened, and that's crazy. Y'all believe what you want, but you got to keep the speculation still open. It could go anywhere.
So we're looking at a possible abduction, family violence, or I'm thinking just the family knows. Mom knows exactly what the fuck happened to her daughter.
Well, that's just like what Don Wells said. Like Paula says here, the last thing she heard was that someone had an interview with Don on the phone. That Don claimed that someone came in the back door. Don don't know if someone come in that back door or not. Speculation, because even his wife said she don't know what happened. She knows she put her in the house. She gave her to the front porch, told the boys to watch her. So the speculation of somebody going in the back door, that's speculation on his part. So yes, I said that again. I'll say it again. The abduction theory is still being investigated. That's all I'm saying.
I'm paying attention.
People are pushing with, or what Don Wells is telling you, that he wasn't even there. So we don't know. We got to keep it clear. There's a lot of pedos around there.
Okay, that's what I was getting at. So it's kind of like a pedo paradise up there, I'm guessing?
Yes.
Like that, I'm guessing you've looked
almost.
Up.
It seems like that.
Okay. Lots of kids get abducted in March West. And it doesn't take but 10 seconds, man. It takes 10 fucking seconds to abduct a kid. Gone. A little girl like that wouldn't take much. Right. Somebody come up, swoop her up, man. Gone. Bye.
But when you got 3 other boys, you'd think that their attention would be toward the 3 boys now, being that the daughters disappeared. The 3 boys should be the part of their life. That should be their family. To keep the family close as possible, you'd think that they'll be doing some kind of efforts to bring that family back together.
Was there any effort?
I don't see that.
Was there any effort from the brothers to help find her?
I don't know.
Okay,
well, yeah, the boys was out. The boys was out. Sorry, that's wrong. The boys was out whenever Don Wells come home from work. Well, he went straight down to the camper. He went down to the shed down at the bottom of the hill. 2 of the boys. 2 of the boys was out there looking for with a neighbor. Down in the bottom with a neighbor, and that's when he knew right then that the 3 boys were allegedly playing video games. Whenever she gave her they said, "Hey, watch your sister," and she went back over to Grandson's. Well, when she came back to see where Summer was at 2 minutes later, she went down to play with her toys. Well, she was gone. She said 2 minutes. I know 2 minutes could be you can change that any way you want to. It depends on what people's slang is. What she means.
Timeline stops. Summer gets out of the car from the grocery store, and that's it.
That's
she fucking vanishes from there. I don't buy
it. I believe the possibility that you cannot help but look at the possibility that something might have happened to her on accident. Her running to her swing or anything. I mean, it's a 5-year-old child. Anything could happen. Bless her heart, she could tell herself.
I'm with too much, Mom. I'm reading the chat because I like to.
Please read it.
How long was Summer at the store picking up prescriptions? Because he said they stopped at the store to pick up prescriptions with H, right? So too much, Mom. I think someone took sleeping Summer right out of the car while Candace was inside. I think it was a common practice to leave kid in the car until they came.
You think that happened at the grocery? Okay, she's thinking at the grocery store. I could see that happening too.
Okay.
But there's another scenario too, and it makes sense. And Kim Holmes said it. She could have went down to the basement and went right out the back door to her swing, which is right there.
Right around the corner.
And possibly following one of the pups. Yeah, that's true. I mean, she could have went to swing, and again, she could have followed one of the dogs down the road, down the hill. I mean, the dogs was all up, but to hear Don Wells say the dogs wasn't there, that does not mean they weren't at the time. She could have went out to swing. She could have wandered off. She's a 5-year-old child. For him to sit there and for Candace to say that child would not wander off, that's crazy. That's crazy. A 5-year-old child, I don't care how much you try to train and discipline your child. Anything can distract that child and make that child wander off. Very simple. A butterfly. She could have been chasing a freaking butterfly in the yard and got off in the woods and went off the edge of it. I mean, it could have happened.
What's the terrain like on the property? Is it rugged, real rugged?
Oh, yeah, it's downhill, slopey. A lot of it. It's like they live on it, like on top of a hill. Max, will you shut up? I mean, what are you doing?
I got 2 dogs.
But yeah, it's almost like they live on a mountain on top of a hill, and everything's just all down slopey hill. It's very rough terrain. Even where Don went down the side of the mountain to the road below it, it's a rough terrain dog trail down the road. It could have possibly happened. She could have actually hurt herself. or even and how could she hide that way? I don't know. I think, like I said, I hate saying this. I feel like somebody went through the trouble of hiding the fact that they were scared to death that they were going to get in trouble for neglect. I can't help that, but that's just the way I feel.
I always go with my gut feeling, and that's my gut feeling. Something, whether it was passive neglect, like, then when I think of passive neglect, like maybe they just stopped feeding her or some shit, and I don't know, bumped her down the stairs, be like, boom, bump her. You know, because I heard about these stairs, they were kind of steep, I guess. You know, hey, let me knock her down the stairs.
I know it's so much easier as parents. We don't want to believe. I mean, just like it's so much easier for us to believe that some person outside of our familial boundaries would just come pick up that child out of blue, or see that child in the back of a car and see an opportunity and grab that child. I see that as being, everybody wants to believe that. They want to believe that it's the damn bad man, the monster somewhere is going to take this child. But in reality, you cannot deny the fact that this could happen to any of us, a freak accident. Just like, for instance, and I'm not trying to say it, but backing over your own child trying to go to work one morning, backing out of your driveway. Nobody wants to wish that on nobody. But how many times we've been absent-minded in our own life, trying to get a cup of coffee, trying to get the road, we're late, not realizing that we've got a little 5-year-old kid in a damn Hot Wheels behind the car. And the next thing you know, bam, it happens. So to sit there and try to, and not saying that somebody did not abduct her, but if you put the whole case and point scenarios together, you get out of the fact of the drugs or anything like that, you could see this child accidentally falling or getting on that swing and falling off that swing. You could see this actually happen. I mean, it's there. It cannot, and you're not really blaming the parents, but the scenarios that happened after this happened is where the parents are showing. That's what's all falling apart to me.
We'll never know because they don't have a body.
Exactly. And
they don't have summer.
That's going to be a hard thing to solve.
They'll be able to do toxicology. They'd be able to look at bone structure. Hey, did she suffer a fracture of some kind? You know, that's what the pathologists and the forensics would be able to tell. Is like, hey, just tell us where she is, man.
That's right.
This is what I don't get. Why can't they just throw the parents in jail and be like, you know what? Until you guys produce your daughter, we're just going to fucking keep you in jail.
Well, I don't even see that. What really got me was the search party. And I see some people talking about it. I didn't see a really significant, thorough search party that took place. I mean, even the one they put on afterwards, months after she disappeared.
Okay,
they showed up. It really was. There was no kind of the thoroughness was. They were more thorough on the second time around than they were on the first time around. Am I wrong about that, or just it didn't really look like they knew? I don't know if they knew what they were looking for, but it just was the way they were looking. Instead of looking at people's homes, looking at people's background and finding out where these people lived, where she could have been. It was like 10 days. I mean, to me, it was like there was a lot of time that was lost.
What they first should have done is search the whole damn property.
Exactly.
First thing, search the whole property. Okay, let's look at the surrounding residents. We know there's a bunch of pedophiles that live here. Hey, let's go ahead and start knocking on some fucking doors.
Exactly.
Let's go figure this out.
It seems like they went about it the wrong way. You shouldn't have to wait on warrants. You shouldn't have to wait on none of that when a child gets abducted.
No. That's, again, and we talked about certain things the other night in legislation. Those are kind of things that need passed. When a kid's missing, hey, there shouldn't be a need for a fucking warrant.
And to me, it seems like these search parties was there just designed to get them publicity for themselves. I'm sorry, but that's just my opinion.
Hey, Cam Holmes, fuck that. Cuss it up. Sorry. I don't carry a filter because I firmly believe, man, like we pay our officials to do a job.
Cuss it up, bro.
And if they're doing a shitty job, we have every fucking right to pull their chain and be like, you guys are doing a shitty fucking job. Go do your job correct. There's a little girl missing and you guys are sitting on your fucking ass.
We're all parents. We all want the truth to come out. But at the same time, we were getting, to me, looking at this damn shit, there was more. And whenever you're getting the search parties that are coming on YouTube and talking about what they've done, they have no bit. They need to be talking to law enforcement and leave the hell out of this shit. Leave us the hell alone. That shouldn't be where it's at. There's no roadblocks. Nobody was protecting the roads. Nobody was actually investigating the road. Don Well was pissed off at the fact that the roadblocks, the damn search party was going on. He was like pissed in the wrong places. He kept saying she's not there. She's not there. So how do we know?
Yeah, how do you know she's not there?
I would have done that right there. Would have made me do a down to the earth, scratching down. I would scratch up everything I could find on the ground. I would have searched hot and heavy because of just that statement. Not saying he's wrong, not saying he's guilty, but that right there would have made me damn look him hard.
I would have been like, my first question, hey, how do you know she's not there? Why
exactly.
are you saying
how do you know she's not there? That would have made me look even harder. But it didn't go that way. It's almost like it made no sense.
So he's like, oh, he told that to the search and rescue. Oh, she's not there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see that.
He said, I don't know why y'all looking at him. He got so upset and frustrated with him. Like he knew exactly where. It was almost like he knew who had her and everything, but I'm not saying he did. It's just my perception of what he was saying. And again, like I said, I'm not trying to stir up no shit, not trying to make any speculation. I'm just telling you from what I seen, from his actions, how he was acting. It was almost he's giving too much information. Why are we not thoroughly checking this out? Because it's almost like he's playing with a ball. Like a dog, you take a dog, you throw that ball, fake like you don't throw it, you don't throw it, the dog just takes off after it.
Yeah.
It's almost that's what we was going to. We was getting that kind of effect from it. I don't know. To me, it just seemed like it was a misperception, like a deflection off of it. If that was the case, I would have looked harder. I would not give up. I would not. Where do you think we should look? Let's go over there. Okay.
Yeah. Self-made bomb had a good point. I don't care about if you have weed or drugs. Where's the kid at? We don't want the fucking drugs or that shit. Where's the kid? We're looking for a missing kid right now.
Exactly. Let's get past all that. It's like whenever it comes. Look, I'm a homicide detective. I don't give a damn about your drugs.
Yeah.
Let's get past all that.
Yeah.
I don't care what I just seen when I walked in here. You tell me what I need to know about his child, and I'll walk out of here. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. Have a nice day. Smoke your drugs. I don't give a fuck.
We're looking
for a missing
kid. You know
kid.
anything about his child?
Priority.
I want you to know. I want to know where that child's at. If you got any idea, you know anything, let me know. That's what it's all about. But everybody's so scared about what they're doing, all they're damn, and they're scared to talk. I understand that too.
Cops came to my house looking for a missing kid and they asked to search my property. Be like, go right ahead.
Exactly.
Go right ahead. I want them to have, they said, hey, there's a missing kid out here. Can we go ahead and bring dogs and search? Fuck yeah, dude. Here it is. Don did want everyone's house searched. He kept saying, please let them search the houses.
Yeah.
See and then when I hear about him being a narcissist.
They kept saying, but I know he did that. But that's what I'm saying. It's almost like deaf ears. Like they didn't want to search.
It's misdirection.
Remember when they had it, they blocked off the entire town, or that entire hill. It was after that. That's whenever they decided they were going to search everybody's backyards. You remember that, Kim? That's whenever all that broke place. It seems like it never happened when they first started the initial search. That was months later.
How long after she went missing did the search happen?
Well, that day before Don got home, there was people in the yard.
Right, but how long before actual official search and rescue?
I don't know. Well, from what I gathered, it was them and Beach Creek, wasn't it? Wasn't Beach Creek that was already out there, folks? Y'all give us some heads up on that. Fill us in on that. Ain't that what it was? I'm not trying to mislead anybody. It's been a while since I looked into it.
Now, Beach Creek, are they actually like a professional search and rescue?
They're the search and rescue, the EMS for that area. Okay. They were looking into it at the hot and heavy. They were already there. There were also a lot of the local people with the 4-wheel drive and everything like that. And then
so locals got
next
involved.
Day it actually got hot and heavy then apparently.
So locals actually got involved too. They took it personally.
Right.
Okay.
See, they got what was the 911 call. Dispatch sent out the message. The one that we've all heard was dispatch talking to the cops, telling the cops that a child, 5-year-old, had disappeared. She had walked away from the house. Her mother went for a walk and come back and the child was gone. That's what we heard the dispatch tell the cops. So when they come out there, they showed up. That from what Don said, he beat the cops there. But that also the search and rescue was already or the people that was there to help, the locals around the area from whenever Candace went off in the truck, telling everybody the child was missing. They had all showed up and was looking through the place.
Did they search the surrounding areas for her?
Yes, they supposedly did. There was a sex offender on horseback searching. So, I mean, there's all kind of, this place there's been so much speculation, everything about it is sickening. But then all you do is add a couple of damn reject, wannabe damn sleuth monkeys that call herself damn all this in a bag of chips and claim that they're here to save the day. You add them to the mix and it makes it even more pot of them. Just the horse shit.
When did they find out the guy on the horseback was a sex offender?
I don't know. Marge, when they find out about that? I'll put it up there. See what she said. Yeah, it speaks volumes about the type of people in the neighborhood. The entire neighborhood, Don West was saying that he was that the whole neighborhood was drug addicts. He called them all that. And of course he thanked everybody, all the people, drug addicts and all that, people in the neighborhood for helping him after a while when he got to know everybody. Before that, he claimed that everybody was in this and everybody was on that. The one that was on horseback was just out of jail for sexual assault. They had one on horseback that just got out of jail for sexual assault. That's when it was searching.
So why if
yeah, how could you turn him loose on a child, looking for a child like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's sickening.
But did they know? I mean,
well, I mean, at the time, I bet they probably didn't have a choice. They couldn't really, they're not really checking everybody. They can probably check ID, see who you are, but writing you down, but they're not really doing a background check. They're trying to find a child. I understand that. I can understand, but it's still kind of screwed up. To know that's the kind of people you're looking to, trying to get help out of. That's the bad part about it. He was, so that when they were allowed him to search, so they knew he was an SO. Oh, okay. Helen Fackler said that they knew he was an SO. See, there's so much con creators tainted information for almighty dollar. That's true. That's what the biggest issue I've got with the entire thing is. We're not cops. We know that we're not cops. We're out here to.
But we have fucking brains and we can think.
Exactly.
That's what.
What gets me is the ones that choose to tell the lies, the bullshit, knowing damn well they know better than what they're saying.
Well, the thing is,
choose to spread it.
Like I study narcissism, dude. About these cult leaders and shit, and what you're telling me, because dude, you're filled me in on a case that's been going on for a better part of a year almost. I know shit about this case.
Right.
And all the red flags are pointing straight back to the family, straight back to the parents, and it's the fact is that they don't question the parents.
And to me, it's got to be questioned. It's not that I'm trying to make them guilty. I'm not making them guilty. I'm telling you by what their actions are showing me. There's got to be some point of suspicion in it. You've got to ask these questions. You can't sit there and ignore it. If you're ignoring it, you're not wanting the case to be solved. That's the bottom line.
I don't know shit about the case, and I want it to be solved because there's a little girl missing. Again, when Gabby Petito went missing, man, they fucking found her. They found her. Social media found her. Social media found her.
That's right. They found her. And that's what, see, this happened prior to her disappearing. This case happened before she disappeared.
Bama, who's lost it? Local law enforcement?
That's right. That's the sheriff running off.
Okay, now is this area, is it known for corruption in the police? With the police?
Very much so. There's been beatings. Police, there's been a big lawsuit going on right now in that area from the deputies that supposedly beat a man.
Okay.
He's got a lawsuit against him. Like I said, it's a small town community, but it's just like anywhere else you go. You're always going to have rumors and stuff. To not rule that out is a smart way to go. You got to keep it in line. You got to keep it in check until you find any information. I mean, there's no other way around it. There's so many doors that's left open, and like I said, the reason why these doors are left open is because nobody's trying to close them. The parents ain't allowing us to close them either. They're leaving the speculation on right there. On
you know what though? The parents are shitting bricks.
Well, they should be. One of them's in jail now. The dad's in jail.
Oh, so they got dad in jail?
No, he's in jail for violation of probation. He violated his probation with a DUI arrest that happened pretty much a year after he had when he got put on probation. He got probation and put on probation in October of 2020 through a domestic dispute at home.
Okay.
And he was carrying a firearm. He wasn't supposed to carry had a loaded firearm in the truck. Wasn't supposed to have one because due to his conviction, his earlier conviction.
Mm-hmm.
So he was on probation for that. He got arrested for DUI.
Okay.
When he decided to take R&R for a ride with him.
During this whole case, he got a DUI. During this
whole case, yeah. In October the next year, the following year, then October. This is 5 months after she disappeared. He was caught after being on YouTube on one of the channels. Got upset for being on there on one live streams, which he shouldn't have been on again, with my opinion. He wasn't anyway, but he took off, and during one of the live streams, and between getting talked to on the phone and everything, he ended up getting pulled over by police and went to jail. And
so he's in jail right now still.
He's in jail right now, serving a violation of probation.
How long is he in for?
He was sentenced to 100 to what was it?
I think it's 11 months and a day.
11 months and a day, but they said that he could get out in like 180 days. Was
good behavior?
Yeah, good behavior if he done rehab. Had to do rehab or something like that. I don't know how. To me, he'd be shit. I would be shitting bricks if I knew anything about this case, because that's the one thing that's keeping him. To me, he's not answering questions because he can't stand being in jail. Why is he not? Question, but he must not know what happened. And it's a possibility that's the one thing that's keeping him sanity, because he was not there. He was at work. If he didn't know exactly what happened to her, he don't have nothing to say. He can keep mom's word. As far as I'm concerned. I don't know if he was there. I don't think he was there. I think he was at work. he gets released in 6 months if approved by rehab.
How long after mom got home did she make the phone call to Dawn that something had happened? What's the time frame there?
Didn't she say they were riding home by about 3:30, 4 o'clock?
Yeah, I think around 3:30.
3:30 or so, and the phone call to Dawn was at 5:30, and then the 6:30.
How long does it take for her to get home from the grocery store?
That depends on which route they make. About 30, 45 minutes one way, and I think it was the other way, about 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Depending on which way they took.
So average about 35. Average about 35 minutes.
Yeah, there was a big window, a big 40-minute window. And 40 minutes is a long time. That was actually not accounted for. That was tried to be filled in by Dawn saying that she was washing clothes at that time, that she decided to wash clothes. That was brought up later. That was the only part of the story, but their whole timeline scenario has all stayed the same. It's always stayed the same. But it's just whenever everybody started critiquing just basically criticizing the window, the time frame, that 40 minutes come up.
Well, chronology matters in something like this big time. What I'm sitting here trying to think. Okay, she's at the grocery store in the truck with this guy that's still family friends. It's new, kind of to the family.
See, that's my point. If they'll
there's
get
neglect, there's neglect and abuse already known.
Right. There's enough right there in this story to make it compelled to investigate just in the internals of the family, other than worrying about if Don Wells and Benny Keys knew each other prior to the damn investigation. If Benny Keys was in the mountains instead of going to Mexico, if Ernie Shells was involved with any of these people, or if Ernie Shells had anybody, that's the most sickening part of it. Is there's so much speculation that is allowing these damn bootlickers to get involved in this case. They shouldn't even be involved in it whatsoever. But it dramatizes it, makes them get more clicks and views. There's more to see in this case just for involving it around Don and Candace and Grandis. If you leave it to that point of the case, you can find it. But you got over 2,000 leads being put in, and every one of them, the majority of them got something to do with them two assholes that ain't got no reason whatsoever but just make money off this case. They're not trying to help this case open. They could give two hoots and four hells if they find out what's going on with Summer. As long as they keep the door open to where they can keep making monetization off of it, that's what it's all about. That's the sickening part of it. Those two didn't have a damn thing to do with her, and they ain't had a damn thing to do with trying to solve this case. They made money off her. That's what they're good at, but they're not worth a shit when it comes to being normal people, and that's just the way I feel about it. And that's the ones we get all that shit out of the way, and that's the reason why you're right, Fackler. Don't mean it to be the wrong way. That's the reason why we're pushing Summer's name all the way to the back burner because of these two idiots. And these people that are jumping on these bandwagons, that are all involved in them, and y'all know who you are, they ain't had no clue about this case. They didn't know no more. We've allowed these people to control the narrative on everything. And that's where our problem is. That's where it all lies. We're not getting justification at all for Summer, at all.
And here's the thing. You would think in an investigation like this, right, that the government would have some kind of control as to what information is being put out, especially when it comes to misinformation in a fucking missing child's case.
Right.
You would think they'd be knocking down some fucking doors, be like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
Well, look, you got the FBI has already taken Benny Keys' information. They've taken Benny Lindsay's information. They went to his house. They took his computers. They took his laptops. They took his mom's computers. They took everything that he could damn crash up in that garage. They've taken his shit away from him.
That's what I mean. That's good because, dude, what he's doing is putting.
That tells you there that they're kidding. He claims that he's working for the FBI. Horse shit. He's going to be working for him when he works on a damn chain gang some damn where when they get his ass. That's
why they came and raided his shit because he said he works for the FBI. They're like, oh,
yeah. Okay, he says he's a criminal informant too, which is the biggest crock of shit in the world. I've talked to the DA of Dallas County that says he is not an informant. They're watching him, but he's not an informant.
You know why?
He's the reason why all this shit gets started.
That's why the feds went in and nailed his ass to the wall. They're like, oh, you're going to talk shit? Well, guess what, dude? We're going to take all your shit.
But he's still talking shit.
Well, he also made a quote, and I'll say it again. He's made this quote. If you want to make it real, you want to be famous on Facebook, on YouTube, find a missing child, and exploit the shit out of it. That's what he said, quote unquote. If I'm lying, I'm dying. He tried to say he took it out of context. Man, that's just a narcissist telling the truth.
Yeah.
And not wanting to claim it. That's all that is. A narcissist.
Yeah. That's what I meant about, like, you get involved in a federal investigation like that, the feds aren't going to take too lightly to it. They're not going to.
There's got to be more emphasis put on people instead of calling in with these damn outlandish rumors. Just call and ask them if they find out anything. You keep beating down the boards that ask questions. Do you know anything? Is there any more? What's going on? Have y'all got any closer? You start bombarding them with those questions instead of coming up with these scenarios, this bullshit these people are feeding. They'll start getting off their ass and start doing their job. They're doing their job, folks. They're doing what they can. They need help. This is not helping them with all this crap.
They can't do it with all them false.
All these people, all these false allegations, they've got to follow each and every one of these so-called rumors. They've got to follow it and find out if it pans out or not.
But also, you know what?
The more time they spend on them and it ain't working, the less time they're doing following the right thing.
Also, what the feds are going to do, they're going to let somebody fuck up too.
Big time.
They're patient.
If there's a reason why this case is going on so far, they're knowing either they know that's inevitable.
They're sitting back like this. They're sitting back like this.
Yep. I mean, the percentages go down every day. If you look at it, Benny Keys says he's with statistics, whatever. He couldn't damn state statistics with his front teeth out or not. But the fact is, statistics do state the further this goes on, the percentage rate of her being found is a recovery mission at this time. But they do know their key suspects. They know who they're looking at. And they're waiting. They're waiting. Now, these other so-called wannabes that want to keep dramatizing shit and allowing this shit, and even though they know it's lies, they won't even tell you if it's denied or not. They're just sitting out there just to make them money. That's disgusting. When I say bootlickers, that's what they are, bootlickers. That's all they are. It's disgusting.
Investigators need to go back to the parents.
They do need to go, and they need to leave these damn childish imps alone and quit letting these people ruin this case. The parents got more information than what we need that needs to find this case. We're not going to solve it. We're not going to solve it. Nope. Benny Keys ain't going to solve it.
Nope.
Ernie Shell ain't going to solve it. Cher ain't going to solve it. Ziggy, none of these people going to solve it.
You know who's going to solve it? Mom.
That's right. Dad. It's going to be solved by whoever did it when they come through and tell the story. When they tell the fact.
When that story's dropped, they're going to find out whenever they recover the body or whatever the case. And again, we can agree to disagree. I believe they're going to find a body, man. That's just too much time has gone by.
No, they're not going to find it. And the fact of the matter is, if this parent was any kind of parent to give a shit about the kids, they would have tried harder to get their kids back.
That's what I mean.
They would show me more of an impulse where I wouldn't have to be pointing toward the chip about the kids. And I'm still saying they're innocent until proven guilty. But I'm be honest and clear with you. Don't get it twisted. They ain't showing me no evidence of being damn parents to give a shit about the kids. There's parents out there that don't give a shit about the kids. They're everywhere. Don't let them fool you.
Yeah.
I know we're all parents. We care about our kids, but the fact of the matter is that we're not everybody's built the same way. There's parents that can wake up every day after their kid's gone.
Fuck
and
my
walk
kid. I don't give a shit
about them. Start their whole life over. Maybe that's what we're seeing right now. It's possible.
Yep. And that's why I do on my channel. That's why I do what I do, because there's kids fucking being sucked out of their fucking families doing this bullshit.
Exactly.
And the exact same way. Mm-hmm. It's fucked up.
It's true. Man, it's pathetic.
Benny just said he wish he could kill Don.
Oh yeah, Benny's he's talking about he wish he could kill Don.
Gut him like a fish.
Yeah, gut him like a fish. Man, what are you gonna do? Kill him like you did that dog on TV? What a damn stud you are. What a super stud he is.
When was the last time Mom was questioned by the investigators? Anybody know?
She's been questioned by YouTubers longer than she has by investigators, as far as I know. I don't think she's been in question. I think it's been a damn good minute. I don't think she's had to investigate. I don't think anything's been said about any of them.
Has she been properly interrogated?
Well, if that would be a question that I couldn't answer, because I don't know. I know that it was they both were taken in. I don't know if they were separated. Mm-hmm. You would think they would have been. You would think you would have to, because Don Wells shouldn't have been interviewed. He should have been interviewed for a post after it happened, for past thought. As far as the initial, who was there prior to her, the timeline to fit, the ones that actually seen her last would have been Candace, then the three boys. That would have been the timeline, because she left the parent where Candace talks is her and Summer walked away from Grandis's trailer, walked around to the porch, told the boys to watch her. So then three boys would be the next one to watch. They have to keep an eye on her. So then when she walks away, that would be the timeline of people that had been Candace, Grandis, or on down the line. That would have been
there were 5 people home at the time. Candace, Grandis,
5 people at the house, yeah. Counting 3 boys and so actually 6 people. The 3 boys in Summer, Candace and Grandis was at the house at the time whenever they disappeared, where she disappeared. But like I said, those 6 people would have been the primaries. I know 3 of them are minors. But you'd have to figure some kind of impulse to ask them kids. I don't know if you'd be able to ask them with a parent involved in a situation like that, or would you have to ask them with a lawyer involved? How would you do that?
Well,
the parents would kind of be a tight situation there because the parents could mislead the kids if you was trying to figure it out. I mean, you'd have to look at both.
That's where I'm going with that. What if, again, parents can fucking coach a kid, be like, but then again, it's like
you would have.
That's right. And all three of them passed polygraph. It's true. They all passed polygraph.
You would have a child.
And I don't know how quick the polygraph was given to them shortly after she disappeared. To me, for them to pass the polygraph like that, it meant that it would have been well rehearsed if that had anything to do with it. So again, you've got so many open windows here. We also know that the way Don said that she had to go back and take the polygraph, that she was not ready to do it at the time. You know, there's all kind of scenarios you can look at. I don't know how long it was after this happened. And it said that Don and Candace stopped cooperating a month after someone went missing.
That's just okay. That's just too shady. That's going right back to the parents, man. It's right back.
They failed first. 3 both did. Who said that? I don't know who that MC lick pop. They failed first. 3 both did. See, I don't know. I know that the interrogate, it was brought up that they failed the lie detectors and they passed. They finally eventually passed them. I mean, what is it, like a multiple choice question? I mean, you just keep giving it to them until they pass it. I mean, I don't see that working. I don't see me getting a second chance at it. I don't see me saying, look, we know you failed the last time. Let's think about this a little bit harder. Let's think about the questions and ask.
Go ahead and take a deep breath.
You said no on this one. Let's try to say yes on this one. I mean, try to think about it. I don't see that happen. But I mean, you can think what you want to, but there's been a reason. I mean, I understand they said their emotions went away. Well, that's when you really want to try to get the information from them. At least them when it's fresh on the case. You don't want somebody to mull it over. I mean, if something disappears, you want to get the timeline. You want to get I know the shock and all and everything going on, but in a situation, that's when you really need the information. You don't want them to get quiet and standoffish because they can forget a lot of things. Their mind is more crisp at that point. But at the same time, it works both ways. People come back later and can remember things that they don't remember. You know, when they
see Gina Burka, I'm with you there. They need to search every fucking inch of that property, man.
Big time.
Every goddamn inch of that property. They need to search that shit, not just walk over it. No, you need to go look for disturbed dirt.
Back in the fall when the leaves fell, so they can cover more ground.
Yeah, they had the other one. That's right. Whenever the leaves fell, back in the fall, they had that big search then. But I have no idea what they found, where they found any kind of evidence at. But then you've also got to understand, you've had YouTubers that have been all over that property too. You've had people that had no business being on that property. That should have been taken off that property. Should not even been allowed in that property. Taking shit out of the shed, doing all kind of shit they had no business doing.
Taking her clothes.
It's disgusting.
Out of the yard.
You know, Griffin, we talked the other night about how investigations are handled. It just sounds like this investigation was contaminated from the get-go.
Big time. Oh yeah, they had nowhere to go. There was no other angle to put on it, but it was contaminated.
If you're going to do a thorough search with dogs, you wouldn't have their dogs running around.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Yeah,
you would have to basically control the investigation. It's sort of like a scientific experiment. You've got to have a control factor to the experiment. You can't sit out there and have people contaminating the crime scene and expecting to get evidence off of it. Everything would have to be conjectured. Well, how can you say that was his blood? Because so-and-so was down there too. How can you say that was their footprints? You had so many other people involved. Everything falls in context. To me, it was just, if anybody's ever watched crime shows on TV, I don't care what you guys say about Hollywood, but everything that should have been done in this case was absolutely off kilter. They wasn't nothing isolated. There wasn't nothing barricaded off. I didn't see the first bit of damn cop tape, caution tape or anything wrapped around nothing. There was nothing. There was no kind of little old cone sitting out, evidence A, B, C. Nothing was there. It's almost like they had no clue what they were doing when they started this shit.
This is like some little podunk town too in Tennessee, right? I'm guessing, like where they live up on this hill. It's
right. It's a little small town. Like I said, you got Kingsport and Rogersville right there.
Yeah.
But on the hill, like I said, the Beach Creek area where Ben Hill Road is, they've
There's a lot of drug activity.
There's a lot of drug activity. What we've seen.
They have a so-called mafia gang there.
Yeah, a group of damn people to try to say they're damn gang member stuff. but they don't even.
Bunch of country white boys trying to say they're G's.
That's it. That's all it is. And there's an element. There's an element there that can actually screw that. But I mean, you're looking at there is room to create a facade if you wanted to try to conjecture, to fill this whole world up with rumors and allegations to try to mislead people. It's there. But
Lawson, the sheriff said even after dark, he wouldn't even go.
But Lawson tried to say that the place was a clean area. Well, he sat right there and said that it was a clean neighborhood.
Yeah, somebody just said internal.
Good or sue out of there is what he claimed.
Yeah, they needed to do an internal investigation. He would
not go out there
after
dark either.
There should be an internal investigation. There should be a lot of internal investigation when it comes to a lot of these kids that are taken whenever things like this go wrong. I don't think we've ever heard anything out of Fruitdale, Idaho either, have we?
No, that Monkey, he's still missing.
About Monkey, ain't nobody found him either. That was a complete mystery too. That's another case that.
I'm really with Lisa Kleckner. The property and land should still have a do not cross crime scene. Fuck yeah, because it's still an active fucking crime scene.
It should be.
Yeah,
but you've got all these drama monkeys still piling up over there. Hey, we found something here, but they're trying to ride four-wheelers all over. I mean, stupid shit. Ain't got no business being there. Go inside and do your line. You're going to do it. You ain't going to be on the property out there trying to search for something you ain't going to be.
That's what I mean. Like people showing up to the property that aren't like credentialed investigators.
Exactly.
Like that just contaminates it right there.
You think a credentialed investigator will at least wear a belt instead of running down a damn mountain trying to keep your pants up?
I would never show up to like one of the places where I expose because that's just asking for fucking trouble.
Yeah, or go swimming in a damn swimming pool when I'm at a damn motel. I mean, that was kind of ridiculous. But that's your damn top-notch that's your web sleuths around here, your gumshoes, top-notch. Garage gnomes, all the hell he is. Freak. Went swimming with Candace. I mean, took a picture of her while he was trying to deflect on the Molly Go Lightly and out there in the same motel room, but he's got them Candace in the pool with him. Yeah. In the motel swimming pool. This is the mother of the child that's disappeared that they can't find. And she's got Candace, he's got Candace in the pool with him. This is damn Benny Keys. I mean, it's the pathetic shit that was going on. Yeah, really trying to help find a kid, you know.
Something's not adding up with the parents, though.
No, it ain't. No. It's all part of it. And again, that's what you're getting. You're getting a lot of people that are throwing these conjectures out there, trying to say they're trying to protect the kids or trying to protect the parents, and all they're doing is keeping the door open to make money off of it. That's the obvious reason right there.
Well, yeah, again, they're exploiting children, man.
And then to me, I can't stand that. That right there is and I don't care what anybody says about me, that sticks in my side when you're exploiting a child. Every time it makes me sick in my stomach.
I'll exploit a shitty ass fucking cult leader. That's for sure. I'll exploit him to the fucking fullest.
But it's just, and look, and there's people that get upset. Your emotions get aroused in this case. There's people that believe a certain way. They won't try to, but they're all about the same thing. We're all at one time. We're all together. Us little people are. We all know we're trying to find out what this youngin' is. This youngin's got a hold of her heart. But at the same time, you've got some that are just don't give a shit. There's some of us that might not believe the same scenarios. We believe that something else happened. That's fine. But they still are sincere. But you got some out there that don't give a rat's ass about this child whatsoever. They won't admit it, but it's a fact. They're not in it for the damn try to find this child. They're in it to keep going and see what kind of monetary value and gain they get up. And that makes me sick to my stomach. Drama instigates.
Well, you can make $3,000 and $4,000.
That's all it is. They instigate.
$1,000 a month off of this.
Yeah, think about it. That's when you get sickening. You go looking back at the playboard and all this kind of shit, and you see how much money these people have made, and look at their videos, you see the clickbaits they've done on these videos about these children. That's sickening.
That's what, again, this is why I don't get where there's like not legislation for shit like this specifically. Where, again, you told me about your situation with YouTube, how YouTube basically says, nope, fuck off, you deal with it yourself.
That's exactly what they do. They're not going to shut it down. They're going to keep it going. There's not a damn thing you're going to do about it because they're making money off of it.
They are.
They're not going to make it to where the people are not going to pull if they pull their ads off, they're not making no money. Them ads don't get pushed like video. They're not making.
So say people are making $3,000 to $6,000 a month on summer wells. YouTube is making probably $300,000 a month.
Exactly. That's just a percentage because they're making 55% off they're making 45% off of your 55.
Yeah, they don't pay creator shit. They don't. Yeah. YouTube makes so much more. It's like exponential because think of how many channels there are that are monetized.
There's over 9 million.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, you look at the fact that this. What if something happens, and this is what happened not too long ago? I got caught up in some shit. This is how these sick these damn YouTubers are. They try to create a facade with this woman that apparently committed suicide, and one of her channels. I got the information through a reliable source. I thought at the time that, and also somebody that claimed to be the sister of this woman that was telling me this actually happened. It was all a farce. Blew out of it. It just made me look a damn fool. Because I was pissed off about the fact is they was bullied. This woman was supposedly bullied by these YouTube channels. I came into a defense of it. I said, it's wrong. It's sick. Needs to be fixed. That showed you right there. It ain't going nowhere. That right there could have made it. Imagine what somebody said something about whenever somebody gets the money to get the funds together to start suing these YouTube channels. What's going to happen is you've got to get YouTube by the ball. That's the only way you're going to stop it.
How you have to get it
is allowing this to happen.
I know they're violating their own terms of service.
Big time.
Oh, yeah.
Big time. I'm this close to reporting them as an extremist organization.
You're true.
I have contacts where I probably could find out the right route to be like, hey, how do I report YouTube as an extremist organization? Because one, they're allowing a platform to launder money. They're allowing a platform for people to be abused, scammed, trafficked, drug money, you name it.
It is. Exactly right.
Yep.
It's amazing how this works out, though. It's all about the Benjamins, baby.
It is.
The keys. It's sick.
And the thing about it is, with that lady that was supposed to commit suicide, it was all a rehearse. It was
all choreographed. It was all set up.
It was all choreographed for them to make money.
Come on, self-made mom. You want to come up here and talk to us?
Come here, my man. Come here, buddy. Come here, buddy.
Come on, I want to see how you doing, sweetie. I ain't seen you in a while. Come on up here. Give us a holler. She's got a great
I saw her comment earlier about the girl that's missing in Texas. $300,000 her reward.
That's what I want to talk about. I remember that. That's very important. Self-made mom.
No, who's missing?
It's a child in Texas is missing. I'm trying to go back to it and look at it now.
Lena Kill.
Lena Kill, I think she said her name was. I'm looking for it now. She had it on the post. Come on up here. Grab a hold of that link. Self-made mom. Let us know.
Yeah, I want to hear about that. Make sure it ain't who I'm thinking.
I do too, but I'll be right back. I'm gonna
go ahead, man. That's right.
I'll be right back.
Folks, y'all ain't familiar with that. That's David. Oh, good God! I wish I'd done. I done lost. I'm bad. I have to start writing this shit down. I'm bad about this.
Oh God, I ain't got my phone.
Somebody put out a link to tell me who he is. I'm trying to go through the pad. It ain't keeping up with it. I'm lost my mind.
Calling him Jack.
I know I was trying to call him Jack a while ago, but I'm not calling him by his real name. But he does a lot with the cults and everything, and he's doing the same thing we do. I mean, he's all about that. But he's got a real good channel. David A. Taylor.
Yeah, David E. Taylor.
David E. Taylor. He's a con artist, a scammer, swindler. He's supposed to be a religious man. Takes money out of people's back pocket pretty much, just like the rest of them. But I'm trying to see if self-made mom come on and give some more information on this child in Texas. If she don't mind, I'd love to have her on. And anybody else who wants to step up, y'all be more than happy to. Like I said, it's open panel night. Anybody wants to chit-chat, love to have you. Self-made mom done disappeared on me now. She's gonna dip out on me. That's how she's gonna do me.
Okay, who's Kay Watson? Yes, she was out of way.
Yeah, I live an hour away, followed from the beginning. This is so sad.
I don't know what she's talking about, that little girl or something.
Are you talking about from Texas, or are you talking about from Summer over in Rogersville, or Kingsport?
Let me get back with this lady here. Ida, is that how she pronounced her name? About she was wanting to know who.
Ida Marinelli?
Yeah, she was wanting to know who the guest was and what his channel.
And I'm trying. David, his channel's called David E. Taylor. David A. Taylor. David E. Taylor. David E. Taylor.
Hang on, I'm gonna get it.
He's got that's the name of his channel.
Hang on, I'm gonna find it get it for you.
He was up in the chat. If you scroll back in the chat, you should be able to find him in the chat and find his whole initial time. When he comes back on, I'll get him to tell you. He just took a break for a second. Had to go take care of the pups. But Yeah, he's got a real good channel. He deals with a lot of them. He gets a lot of promotions right here. David E. Taylor. I'm gonna put his link up there. It's right here if you want to post on it and like, subscribe to him. Like I said, he's a good channel. He's a real good channel.
Thank you, OG.
Michael Bannon, MMI fan club. Michelle Bannon, my MMI fan club. That's not his name. None of that's his name. That's just the name of the time. That's the name of his channel.
Oh, she's okay. Most of them said they're 15 minutes away.
For Summers, okay. Most of the mascara. Most of the mascara. I got you. Bodybuilders. That's right. Found it. She said, "Thank you." Thank you, O to you. But
So Gina said that Candace has COVID.
I don't know if she has COVID or not. I know.
Somebody just said that.
Did she say she had that? I don't know if she had it or not.
She said, "Did y'all know Candace has COVID?"
I didn't know nothing about it. I'm not. Like I said,
I hope she will.
I hope she makes it through it. I mean, I really do. But if y'all see self-made mom running around out there somewhere, grab her by the arm and say, "Come here."
But she
might have to dip off. I know she's had some rough times with surgery and all that stuff on her leg. Yeah. Man, I was kind of hoping that after Don got arrested or put in jail, that Candace would really open up a little bit more. Maybe we'd be able to see some kind of insight in her. I mean, I really was hoping for the best. I thought that maybe because part of me kept saying that she knows more. I keep hanging on that. She knows more than what's going on. I'm not saying she had anything to do with it. I'm still leaving that open, but I still know in my heart that something's going on and somebody's not telling everything that's supposed to be said. That's just mine. I just feel like that there's so much more that can be brought out to help this child. I don't understand why we're hitting these roadblocks. Why the law enforcement can't find out what's going on. I really can't. And it's amazing. And like I said, nobody handles these things the same in every situation. We know that's the truth. But we still got to understand that we've got a spectrum of stuff that we can tolerate, and we can see people going this route and that route. But when you fall off that damn scenario, when you fall out of that spectrum, you got to question it. And if you don't question it, what are you being? What are you doing? Thank you, K-Y. She said she's close to Summer too, about an hour away.
Oh.
And again, I'm here. I just stepped away. Well, I'm gonna put the link out there. I want you to come up and tell us about that girl in Texas, if you don't mind. And talk to us anyway. I ain't seen you in a while. I'd like to see you. See how you doing. I got the link out there. If you don't mind, if you can find time. Give us a shout out. I want to see how you've been doing. I called. Pam was telling me about you going there and done a live not too long ago, or a couple of days ago with a live or something, telling us about how you're doing, and I didn't get a chance to see it.
Well, it was about a rabbit.
Come on up here and join us. We'd love to have you.
Somebody help me, Pam.
Neighbor interfering is very unusual. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yep.
Interfering with a trace a day.
Anybody who is interfering in this case that has nothing to do with the family is just sketchy in itself.
Exactly.
Why would anybody wanting to be getting involved in a fucking missing little girl case? Dude, that's just asking for it.
To me, you'd be arms length away from it. You wouldn't even want to know where it. You wouldn't even be nowhere near it to reach it. You'd stay away from it.
Ask him does he remember that. Okay. So he might, I don't know if he's supposed to use about that Malia Davis.
Do you know about Malia Davis? My wife was asking about it. Have you heard anything about that? I put it on a couple of uni posts. I don't know if you've seen it. The woman that is on death row for her 2-year-old child.
5.
A 2-year-old child.
5-year-old daughter.
The one that fell off.
No, Malia Davis. It's a little black girl that was missing from Williams.
Oh, Malia Davis. I'm sorry. I got two. Malia Davis was a little 5-year-old girl. We was in East Texas at the time. And we was in Mont Belvieu, Texas. Mm-hmm. She disappeared. They found her remains in Oklahoma, right across the line. In Oklahoma, they found her. By matter of fact, one of the damn bush hog trucks found her. She was left with her stepfather. Her mother went to a funeral out of town. I remember it now. And they went to a funeral, and when she came back, the child disappeared. Nobody knew where she was at. And
Arkansas. They found her in Arkansas.
In Arkansas, right across the line. It was Arkansas. That's right.
That's how when we got started.
Do you remember that case at all? That's what really got us involved with the true crime. That was a very heartbreaking case right there. You talking about bad. Both parents was acting just sketchy as all get out. It kind of resembled sort of what was going on here at the first with this one. It made you couldn't help but lean thinking he knew something. You just had a feeling he knew something.
Well, the video evidence finally showed where he took her
out of the house,
and the new baby in the house, and he claimed she fell and hit her head. So then he just put her in that tote and took her
See,
out.
that's what it basically was. It basically was started out as being a neglect issue with a child accidentally hurt herself, and then it spiraled downhill. It went straight to the point where he created a bigger mess than what it was. He took the baby and got rid of her remains instead of telling him what was going on because of his past and stuff like that. Right. That went down to it.
But did kind of find out that he did abuse her. He
was abusing her, but
superficial blunt force trauma, saying there's a pattern of abuse, like they see it on her body when they did the autopsy.
Exactly.
Right now. Yeah, they said medical court records indicate an autopsy found that her forearm was broken. She had superficial blunt force trauma appearing as a loop pattern of bruises all over her body.
Yeah, that was not.
See, they would not even found her if you wouldn't have stopped that damn bush hog. What could have happened when they found her body because she was in a plastic bag. That was the bad part about it. On the side of the freaking road.
Just discarded like trash, man.
Discarded. They didn't care.
They did.
You know, I know our society probably isn't geared for it, but I'm a firm believer when you're involved in a crime like that, you should just be summarily executed.
Yeah,
that's just my opinion, man.
You're wasting tax dollars rotting in jail.
You should be. Well, we got enough. There she is. Hey, girl.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm okay. You
look like you're doing better.
I mean, there's really not any more information about Lena.
Mm-hmm.
The little girl, she's from San Antonio.
Are you in San Antonio?
Huh?
Are you?
I'm not. No.
Oh, okay.
I'm in Texas, but not San Antonio. I'm near Houston.
This is where this little girl's missing from, is San Antonio.
She's missing from San Antonio. She's Pakistani and came over as an immigrant.
Yep.
It's Lena Khil, Khil.
Yep.
And they lived in an apartment complex that was mostly Pakistani immigrants that had came over in 1996, I believe. And so they were used to leaving their kids out playing and stuff. And so mom left her in the little park that was in the apartment building. When she came back, she was gone. No sign of her, no trace. Nobody saw anything. Nobody knows anything. And I mean, she's almost up to $300,000 for her reward. And I mean, like, Texas was on it. Like, they had billboards up in every city. I mean, already at the beginning had 75,000, like, immediately from Crime Stoppers in Texas.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why Tennessee didn't do that, because I guess they don't care about their missing children.
No, that family knows. That family knows where that little girl is. That Pakistani family. The one here in San Antonio. Oh, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
I mean,
I'm sorry. Okay. I'm from San Antonio. I won't say where.
That dad, though, like, I mean, like, he dropped to the floor. It was so genuine. I don't know.
But we're talking, and again, here too, we're talking narcissism with Summer Wells' family. You know, narcissism doesn't have a skin color or a sex. You know, it doesn't choose between who it is. It could be a Pakistani man being a full-blown narcissist throwing a tantrum like that. Again, for a little girl to vanish just off the charts like that, I don't know. And for the reward to hit so much so quick, $75,000, like, that was fast for Texas.
Yeah, it was like, well, Texas always does that. Texas steps up, like, Crime Stoppers steps up pretty quick with these missing kids. I mean, like,
$300,000, like that. I feel something.
That's a lot of cash to come out.
A lot of that came from the mosque. How do you say it? The MOSQUE, the mosque, the temple.
The mosque.
Yeah. And a lot of that money came from them because they're a tight-knit community and they take care of each other. But, like, I mean, I think Dawn is a narcissist, right? With Summer and stuff. But they showed no emotion. Now, I mean, maybe that has something to do with turning off your emotions and stuff.
Well,
but like, I lost
like what I thought about Don at the beginning of it. His non-emotions made me feel like he was guilty at the beginning of it. That's before I changed where I went back to it, kept pushing me off the fact of being innocent and proven guilty. His own actions himself was pushing me toward the fact that he had something to do with it. He knew something was going on. The same thing you true with the fact of if he was to fall down to his knees, I would think right at that point of compassion that he didn't have nothing to do with it. But it's the misleading factor of it. Narcissists can work both ways. But I see what he's trying to say, what Alex is saying there about the fact that these people are, the emotion factor, they play with us. They're playing with our heads. They're making us believe it. So it really don't matter. The fact is the evidence is going to prove it no matter what. But the way his characteristics, a narcissist can cry if he wants to. He can make himself look them just compelling as hell.
Yeah, because I know my ex-husband was a narcissist, and he can make himself feel other things.
Yeah.
Like,
right. I'm with you,
he mimics.
He can mimic somebody, exactly.
And I'm with you on both ends with self-made mom, like the dad having compassion and like showing that. But it's the way the case went, like again, that being a tight-knit community. I have my own theories on that too. But again, just theories, I don't know. But a mom leaving her child on a playground like that, I don't care who you are, what community you live in. San Antonio is a fucking plethora of trafficking. I know for a fact.
Is it? I don't.
Yeah, self-made mom. They find trailers full of people here all the fucking time.
Oh, they're constantly pulling them over.
It is bad. It is so bad here, and a kid could go missing.
Not too long ago, they had one where there was already someone with heat stroke. They were dying of heat stroke in the backup.
That happened in San Antonio. It was a tractor full of 100 and something immigrants. Some of them got out.
All of them, there's like 4 bottles of water inside that entire damn trailer. They had full of them. It was all dehydrated. All of them
out
was
of
dying.
The 80 in there, three lived.
3 lived, yeah, with 4 bottles of water between them.
That incident was in the middle of fucking summer too. In Texas, in South Texas, where it was 105-degree fucking day.
Oh yeah, I know all about that.
Yeah,
it's some hot too.
Yeah, and again, why would a mother leave her child on the playground?
I don't know. Like that's like, I mean, they said that culturally, when they're in Afghanistan and stuff, and culturally that was the explanation. Culturally, that they're used to doing that in Afghanistan, so nobody would ever dare to touch a child because they believe that Allah would send them straight to hell.
Ain't that kind of ironic?
Well,
we're supposed to be living in the best country in the world. Everybody looks at us being the #1 country in the world. We're supposed to be more strict. We always think that we protect our kids more. We've got other countries that have put guns in kids' hands and make soldiers out of them or make them wear a bomb. But then they come over here, and it almost makes you wonder. It makes you see the reality of it. It isn't their culture. You can't always say that it's their culture took this child. That this child was taken from us in hands from being in our own backyard, from our own type, from our own Americans. That's the sick part about it. They over in their country, they don't have them problems. They could, like you said, they could turn the children loose, and everybody's scared that Allah have something on it. End up going to hell.
Their kids got to worry about over there is walking into a minefield, though.
Right over here, they got to worry about us. They got to worry about the sick ass individuals. We call them next door neighbors that are psychotic and twisted.
Well, see over
kids. You think about it.
If you take a kid over in that country, they just kill you.
Exactly.
Yeah, they just kill you. There is no court or judge. No, they just kill you. They just execute you.
Here, you bring them over here, and you never know if they're going to be around tomorrow because some psycho down the road with a sex offender on a sex offender list is going to snatch your kid up.
Yeah, Crazy House Saloon. Crazy House Saloon. I'm just going to say it. Sex trafficking is growing at a rapid pace in Texas. It is very scary. It is very scary. It's happening where people check this out, guys. This is no bullshit. I can't make this up. You can read stories and. It happens here in San Antonio, and women post about it on Facebook. Like, hey, people are traveling in teams now, fucking scoping people out. Like, doing some very creepy shit with people with kids talking to you. This is no fucking joke.
Your next door neighbor could be doing this, man. You think he could be a damn banker? You think he's got mowing? You see him mowing his grass. You're borrowing his lawnmower to mow your grass, and not realizing what his day job is he's out damn tracking kids down. And pinpointing damn areas where kids are going to be more.
Well, now what they're doing is throwing those fucking Apple trackers on people's cars and shit, man. This shit is scary, man. This shit has gotten out of control, and what's allowed it is social media making all these little fucking gadgets Oh, we got these little Apple trackers. I'm gonna go fucking track where this really good looking lady lives with two.
I seen that the other day on a guy that got his 4-wheeler stolen out of his yard. The guy had it on there. That's the first time I noticed about it, the Apple trackers. He had put them all on his 4-wheeler, had put them all over in hidden spots where he could find it. And I got to thinking about that. That's the sickness part of it. We see this, and I'm not, but the wrong person sees that and says, hey, here we go. Walk on somebody's backpack. Walk by a kid and actually put one of them things underneath the backpack where the parent would see it, not recognize it. And all of a sudden, they got that kid tagged. They got him tagged. Next time when they see him, his parents might be with him. They might not get him that time. The next time they see him.
They have done that.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
They have done that.
Yeah, it's happening.
That's the scary part about this world is that these people, the more technology gets better.
Northeast, okay, crazy house. Here in Northeast, we see it all the time. Small towns are being targeted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or a lady from Texas, that she come out of she was in a shopping mall and she come out and saw something on her car.
Yeah, she had a tag on her car. Yes, they're tagging people's cars. I mean, it's amazing when these people get you pegged. You don't realize it unless you get
scary shit, man. It is
a very paranoia run rampant.
When you dig back the evil in the world, man, there is some very sick, twisted shit that is going on right now.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, I'm very aware of my neighbors. I'm so vigilant.
But you got the people that are sitting there saying that the damn COVID shot. You get the COVID shot, they're going to insert a damn chip into you. Look, folks, you don't need to worry about the government. You need to worry about these psychotics that are putting chips on your cars, tagging your cars and your kids. The government ain't going to take your youngins away from them. These psychos are going to do it. I mean, it's ridiculous. You're worrying about the wrong shit. Your paranoia is there. It's justified, but justified directed toward the right damn person.
I'm paranoid for a reason. I see weird shit going on. It's because it's probably weird shit.
It's probably weird shit. Exactly.
Yeah. What they say in the military, if it doesn't look right, doesn't smell right, doesn't taste right, it's probably not right.
It's probably not right.
Yeah, it's probably not right. Yeah. And when I see weird shit and those weird sensors go off, it's probably for a good reason. And your gut instinct is usually the best instinct you're going to have. Always.
That's right. You're sitting there worried about your kids getting them, taking the COVID. Oh, I'm not going to put a chip in my head. That's probably the best thing. If it is the case, if that is what they do, that's probably better off that way so they can find them. I mean, hell, think about it.
Found some stuff on your niece's phone. Crazy house saloon.
But what's not to say that, like those Nest cameras, right? Mm-hmm. And the cameras that you hook up, like to these services and stuff. Right. What's not to say there's not a way to hack into these little
it's done.
GPS things.
It's been done.
It's done. I bet you. There's always the criminals are ahead of us. The criminals are ahead of the justice system, no matter what, because that's the reason why they're coming up with them. They're a step ahead, no matter what. They're already looking at that angle. That's just amazing.
Yeah. They're 10 steps.
Our grandson with his autism, we got him on. He's got to have shit. He's got to have one more on him all the time because he's bad about wandering off. I mean, you got to have that on him. So she's got to.
Man, I put my kid on a leash.
Yeah.
I had my kid, and I remember they weren't popular back then because, my oldest that I live with is 28, right? And so I had a leash for him, and they were not popular. Some lady walked by me. It used to be called Foley's, not Macy's. Mm-hmm. And I lived in Houston, and some lady walked by me, and she goes, treating your child like a dog. I said, I bet I won't lose him either. Bark, Chase, bark.
Bark, son, bark.
And my kid did bark.
Yes.
And we laugh about that today, and I got my 28-year-old kid here too. He never got.
You ain't got him on a leash, do you?
Yeah.
He listened though. He was like, I put the fear of God in him. If you walk off from me in the store, somebody will get you, take you away from me, and cut you up. He did not leave my side.
That's why you got to tell your kids nowadays, be like, hey, if you walk off, somebody's going to fucking take you, and you're going to be put in a fucking barrel, and you'll never see us again.
I was like, the boogeyman going to get you. The boogeyman's going to get you. You keep hiding in them TG&Y. We go to TG&Y, we hide, we play hide and seek, and all through the clothes rack.
Yeah,
boogeyman's going to get you. You keep on. I was riding down to Andrew, the boy down in South Florida, the guy that done not Unsolved, but Adam Walsh. When Adam Walsh disappeared, we was children during that time. That was the biggest thing. The boogeyman's gonna come get you. Nobody knew who the boogeyman was, but it was the point of the child being disappeared. We listened to our mom about the shit, but we still played in the neighborhood, did what damn thing. I didn't have to wear no leash or nothing. But But I've seen kids that had to. I mean, I didn't blame them.
Kay Watson brought up a real good point right here about the I-40 and I-75 corridors. Those are things, if we're talking about trafficking, you have to be aware of those corridors. In Texas, it's the I-10 and the I-35 corridors. I-35 runs north and south, I-10 east and west.
That's
and
it.
59.
And
59 runs all the way.
That's 85 and 75 here where we're at. And 59, and 20 and 59 are going together,
Well, they call it Interstate 69 now.
Right.
They changed it, but they still have the 59 there. But that runs like we looked it up a while back, but that runs like, I mean, it's one of the longest freeways in like the world.
That's like Route 66, I think, is what that road takes. It takes a lot of the old Route 66 roads. And that was actually the longest road that went across the United States.
Poke
I think 69 carries that.
That's what you teach your girls. Poke, scratch eyes, and kick them in the nuts.
That's right.
You start grabbing, biting, cutting.
That's it.
Do it all.
And that's it.
Yeah, go for the eyes. That's a good eye gouge, man. You thumb gouge them in the eyes. You know what somebody's
kick them in the damn shin. If you can't do nothing else, kick the hell out of the shin. I always let my kids wear steel-toe boots.
No, I'm a firm believer of gouging somebody in the eyes, man. If somebody's coming to take you, hey man, you eye gouge them because you know what they're gonna do. They're gonna.
She disappeared. We'll put it back out there for her. I hope she didn't get lost. I'm enjoying it. She's a hell of a woman, man. I'll tell you. She's something else. She's a sparker.
Yeah, definitely.
And she's been in. I've seen her since we all came in together at about the same time we started our channel. And I was gonna get to her. She is. She's coming back. Get her back on. She's a hell of a sparker.
Ask her how her knees doing.
Well, sweetie, now that you're back, I was going to ask you, Miss Griffiths asked about how your knees doing. How's everything doing with your knees and stuff?
Not. I see them. Hold on a minute.
All right.
It's because she's laying on it. Sorry, I'll tell you about that in a minute. So I got out of the hospital, I guess about a month ago. I'd been in 4 months. Had 9 surgeries. They got the infection out, but I still have an IV. It's called a PICC line. I have that in. I'm still giving myself IV antibiotics at home. I can't walk, right? I have to use a walker or a wheelchair. I don't know if I'm going to ever get my leg's not straight. So I don't know if I'm ever, I'm probably going to have a total knee. And then they left a suture in. So it's getting infected. So I don't know what we're going to do about that.
Ain't that what happened last time too?
No, it just got infected. So I mean,
they did something inside there
I had the regular surgery done, and then 7 days later it was infected with MRSA. He sent me home after he did a lavage and put me on oral antibiotics, which I told him because I'm a nurse and I know just as much as you do, dummy. And I told him, I said, dude, look, that's not going to work. I have the infection in the bone.
Right.
Oh, it'll work. It's MRSA is resistant to clindamycin. Yeah, it's resistant to it when it's on your skin. It's not when it's in your bone. Nothing can touch it in your bone except to get to the bone. So this last doctor, we went to Houston to a specialist that because like they sent me home unable to walk my son. And here I am overweight. And my son, thank God he works out and stuff. He had to literally lift me into the truck, carry me into the house almost. And so I'm here screaming in pain and I'm on Dilaudid. Like I'm on the big shit. Like, and he's like, we can't do this anymore. So he called into work and took me to Houston, and then his job fired him. So we've been having issues with that because they were like, if you don't show up, and he said, my mom has 105 fever. She's septic. She's going to die if I don't take her there. And I would. Like once you get septic in your blood, there's an issue. So I went to this guy, and this doctor did something where he inserted these beads that are impregnated with antifungal and vancomycin, which is the big gun antibiotic. And he put it into the knee joint. So I first had like 3 little incisions, and now I have an incision that looks like I had a total knee done from the top like of my knee to the bottom of my leg. And so, but that did it. And then they kept me on antibiotics, sent me to rehab. I came home. But I mean, I was on major. I was screaming for like until the last week, and they finally got the pain medicine right. And I was on morphine, 45 milligrams, extended release twice a day. I was on Percocet every hour and a half in between, Dilaudid 2 milligrams IV every 3 hours. So I mean, I was getting some pain medicine. So coming off that shit, then I came home to come off that and went through major withdrawals like I ain't never felt before, with the help of Suboxone, and still feeling it, like laying in bed, not for as long, but so I mean, I manage it with just a mild pain reliever and then some ibuprofen, but it still hurts like hell, like especially when I get up. And then I lost my rabbit.
Yeah, I heard about that. I hated hearing that.
Yeah, I woke up in the morning, and that's what I can't understand when people don't cry for their children and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I went to bed for a week crying over my rabbit.
I know exactly how you feel.
My rabbit. You know, I can't imagine if I lost one of my children, and one of my children is just a little boob. He's not. But yeah. I can't understand that. I can't understand that because I sat there trying to do CPR on my rabbit.
Bless your heart.
You know, and rocking back and forth. And so my son got me a little girl. It was the one we found. We drove almost 4 hours to go get this rabbit.
I'll be damned.
Because she looks like Butters. And I haven't picked out a name yet to her.
I think you had a couple of names listed you was trying to go through.
Yeah, I'm not sure yet. She's a little lion head. And then we got her a friend, and his name is Obi-Bun Kenobi. And he's a Holland Lop, like full pedigreed, and he's beautiful. And they have helped. I mean, last night I cried over him again.
What about and my son. Or nut butter.
And, huh?
Nut butter, butternut.
Yeah.
For a girl, is it a girl?
I don't know.
Is it a girl?
It's a girl. And then we were gonna name her Butterfly, but like I keep shortening it to Butters, and I thought that was the coolest name, Butter. So, because we thought he was a girl.
You can still name her, man. You can still name her Butters, though. I mean, it's up to you. You can still have a good nickname.
It broke my heart. I'm telling you. Like I woke up, and I mean, an hour before he was fine. And an hour after, he was not fine. He was just gone.
Do you know what happened?
I don't know.
Was it old?
I think that he probably had something, because I've been looking up a lot of stuff. I think he probably had something called gastric stasis, and it's where the motility in their gut stops because they have such a.
They get plugged up. Basically.
The gut actually stops moving.
Well, we used to have pets. We used to have rabbits that we used to breed, white rabbits.
Yeah.
And there were times that sometimes we had to massage, to try to make them to do their pellets out. We had to do that because they would get stopped up.
I didn't really know anything about it because and rabbits hide their pain. So like I have the rabbits in my room in the cage, and I can barely sleep because I'm looking to see if they're breathing.
Got to keep your eyes on him.
Well, it was traumatic because, I mean, I'm the one who found him, and I'm screaming at my kid. Thank God he was off that day. And I was hysterical. Sorry. I held him for like 3 hours, and he was just still so soft.
Yeah.
So
bless your heart.
Anyway, so that upset me because I was going to and so that's all that's been going on. I'm probably going to have some kind of little surgery again and have a total knee done if we can't get this.
Well, she needs to go to the doctor.
If that suture is infected, you need to go see somebody about it and get that thing over.
I have a doctor's appointment Friday. They're right there. I had one yesterday, but my youngest son didn't show up to take me. So, because he'd rather get on Grindr and do stuff.
Well, okay.
Sorry.
I'm not going to.
And so I called them and I was like, I don't think I can drive myself there because it's like a couple hours.
Right. You don't need to drive.
And I have a warrant in that same place that it's at.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I were to get pulled over, and like I said, we've been having a hard time.
Transparency around here.
Well, we've had a hard time financially, so like I don't have car insurance.
I got you.
Our stickers expired, but I mean, he got a job and he really likes it. It just was like going through that.
I've always
He
thought
just
about
shouldn't have been fired. It was bullshit.
When I go through situations like that, I feel like putting me a billboard in the back of the window. Look, I ain't got no insurance. I ain't got my tags expired. I'm broke. I'm trying to get through. Instead of having to go through the problem and let him pull me over, just go ahead and just tell him, look, maybe see if that would deter him. Maybe tell him to leave you alone while he's going through bad times.
I've oftentimes found that like the most honest route, dude. You tell him everything from the get-go. And
Yeah,
man, I don't have my license is revoked and suspended. I don't have insurance, and my tags are out. Oh yeah, and I'm carrying an eighth of chronic in my glove compartment.
You want to go through the paperwork on this, or just let me go? Buddy?
Do you want to go through the paperwork? I had that happen to me one time. I got pulled over. I had active warranties off, dude. I got active warranties off. I'm not here for that. I'm just here to write you a ticket. It's like, fuck, have a nice night.
That's right.
That's
hey,
good.
You go through this? Aren't you ready to go
well,
home?
I mean, and then like my son doesn't want me going to Houston, right? Without a gun.
Yeah,
but like I can have a gun and I can have a gun in the house.
Right.
You know, because I'm a felon. But in Texas, we have a law that says 5 years after discharge, which it's been way more than that, we can have a gun in the house for protection, which we do.
Nice.
You know?
Nice.
But you can't take it outside.
I can't ride with it by myself. So I'm like telling my son, no, I cannot take that with me. You know?
Different story.
I can ride with it with him, but
what if you drive a motorhome?
Well,
if you drive a motorhome,
I better have that better be locked up and owned by somebody else, and that person better be in the car or the motorhome with me.
You're in your home, though. You're driving down the road. Look, I pulled the blocks out on this.
I don't know how they would handle that. I don't know how they would handle that.
I'm in my home.
I guess you. I mean, they're not going to just come out and like search you though.
Yeah.
Like for nothing. You know, nobody except that, you know, there's a lot of weed around. There's a lot of weed around my son, so it probably would always smell like it. What y'all got in there?
What you got in here, son?
Sammy Johnson, Griff, can I hit this comment real quick?
Yeah.
Something I point out on my channel is how parents put their kids on public display in front of these fucking cult ministers.
Exactly.
Watching those guys real close.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You want to talk about some fucking weird, sick shit?
Mm-hmm.
Watch the prosperity ministers and what they're doing with kids and shit, dude. Very.
Yeah. Did y'all see that? Did y'all see that one that just happened in Texas?
Yeah, Catherine Crick.
I don't know if that's who it was.
Was it a woman?
No, it's a male. I'll have to find it. It's a male, and it was in Conroe, and the dude was grooming a 13-year-old, and her mom got concerned about something.
You let me know his name.
I will. I'll look for it.
Okay.
I'll see if I can look it up here in a minute because I'm on my phone, not my computer. Because I couldn't get on there quick enough.
Go to private chat now on this thing. Y'all can go to private chat and pass each other's emails off to each other if you want to.
Okay.
You can do that on private chat there.
Oh, well, I don't care if anybody has my email. So look, you just scared them.
You can type it in the chat if you want to.
Okay. But
Kim Holmes, something I want to point out real quick. Something I talk about on my channel is how the church itself will shelter pedophiles.
Okay, so that's what I was going to tell you is that's exactly what happened. So this guy is grooming a 13-year-old child. And, 13-year-olds, they look like women sometimes now. But you know that if it is a 13-year-old, that you're not supposed to be doing nothing with her. And you're her youth. Well, no, worship. He was the worship minister and did some pastoring. And his dad was the pastor of the church. New Life something in Conroe. I'll find it. Anyway, and the whole church backed him up and called the little girl her wrong. Said she was wrong and she should have known better and blah, blah, blah. They blamed it on the little girl.
Yeah, blame it.
And she's 13. And I have no doubt that 13-year-olds sometimes flirt with older men. I did. Like I had a crush on a 19-year-old. And he was my mom's one of my mom's good friend's son, but he knew better.
Garland.
He never did anything. He ignored me, like, in that respect, to, you know, because he was a man that didn't want some little girl.
Yeah.
You know, and I was just like, oh, he's so cute. Oh.
It's bad.
So, and I think I was like 10 or something. But you don't do that. Anyway, I'll find it because it was repulsive.
Is it called New Life Sanctuary?
Put that up there.
I think so.
New Life Sanctuary in
Conroe, Texas.
I have Garland, Texas, or Grangerland.
It might be Grangerland. Grangerland is right next to Conroe.
That's what it says. And then there's a 5-star review, says 5 reviews a year ago, best kept secret near Conroe, Texas. So
and it did.
Pretty sure it's a fucking secret what's going on there.
Best kept secret, yeah.
Okay.
Well, look, folks, I got to get off here. I got to go to work in the morning.
Yeah, same here.
I was out today because I had to do doctor's excuse and come back to tomorrow. So I go back to work tomorrow.
I wish I had to go to work in the morning.
Well, I wish I would have to work today. I think I said I had a damn heart attack the day before yesterday. It was yesterday, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a damn a little slight stroke. So I had to.
Oh, well.
Then I've been out since then, taking damn blood thinners now. So that's why I'm up now. That's one of the side effects. I guess they're going to give me a little energy. I can't drink caffeine, but now I got to go try to lay down. It has made me pee-pee a lot, but let's say what it was. But anyway, I appreciate y'all coming on. And hey, self-made mom, she just disappeared on me.
Yeah. Hey, dude, thanks for answering my questions tonight, man.
Hey, anytime, man.
I really appreciate that.
We had a great chat. Hey,
yeah.
Everybody hit the like. We had over 80-something people in here tonight. Y'all hit the like button.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, there she is. She's coming back on.
Did he?
No, you're not going to believe what I'm doing. I keep hitting the back button on my phone.
Oh,
the back button.
Because I was going to go look that up, but I'm just going to.
I had it already. I've got it.
But
you got it?
I appreciate y'all both coming on. I appreciate the chat tonight. It was all great. There was a lot of real good people in here, and everybody stayed calm. I appreciate it, Kim. I will. But hey, we're all here for the same thing. Self-made mom, I'm glad to see you out here. Back in this thing, baby. I really do. I'm glad to see you out there. Just keep it up. Just keep trying to stay as focused as you can on and take care of yourself. I know I'm trying to. I need to eat my own words when I say that. I need to do my own thing.
Yeah.
And Alex, I appreciate you coming on, man. And hey, anytime. I love having these chats to talk about. I think we got a lot of things out there. Opened up a few minds. We got a few opinions.
It's good to peel back the layers when you get lost a little bit, man. You got to It seemed there was a lot of bullshit out there about this case. It's like
It's still out there.
You got to start from square one, and I'm new to it. That's why I was going for square one. Like, all right, let's.
Mm-hmm. That's
from
right.
day one, man. Let's see what happened. To me, everything's pointing back to the parents. They know exactly what happened to that kid.
That's true.
100%.
Exactly right.
I don't think we're ever going to know the truth, though.
No, I think we're going to be stuck with that. That's true. I think there's a possibility we don't know.
Just like this is very familiar, like Jean Bonnet.
Exactly.
Except that, I mean, they did have a body for her, but you know, and Casey Lawrence, isn't that her last name?
Casey Anthony.
That one.
Yeah.
Casey Anthony.
True. That's so true.
Casey Anthony. I don't think we'll ever find out what happened there either.
That's true.
No.
That's all it's going to be.
Hey, did y'all see Barry Morphew's case was dismissed?
No, I did not see that.
Yeah, yesterday.
So he got off on that.
Yeah.
God almighty.
Sure did.
I wonder if they dismissed it, but still open for a reinvestigation.
Huh?
Not a mistrial or anything like that. It was not a foul.
No, it was dismissed. So there is no way to charge him again for murder.
Can't get that. Double jeopardy still falls in that, I guess.
Yeah.
Yep.
Huh.
Yeah.
Y'all be good. I'm going to jump off. I got work too.
I will.
Okay, I got to go
guys,
too.
This has been real.
Hey, God bless y'all.
Thank you.
Good night, man. I appreciate y'all
Good
coming
night.
on.
Good night, guys.
All right, bud. Folks, we had a good one, didn't we? Y'all can't say we didn't enjoy that one tonight. I think we had a good one tonight. I think that's what we need to get back to. I know it's hard to do sometimes, but I appreciated that. Even though it was a little long one, I think we all enjoyed it. I think we hey, I'm proud to be where we at. We got to get past all the bullshit. We can still explain ourselves. We can still shed some light on that, on them psychos. But fact is clear. There's still some open opinions and honest reporting we can do on this. And I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed y'all being here. Enjoyed every one of y'all being here. Glad to see the numbers up. Glad to see y'all showing up. Again, y'all just stay real, man. That's what it's all about. Stay real.
See what Miss Margaret put up there?
Mm-hmm.
Subs at the Crazy House Saloon.
There are a lot of subs at the Crazy House Saloon. There you go. Hey, y'all be good. Already subbed. There you go. She's on Crazy House Saloon. I already subbed. God bless y'all. I appreciate it. Every one of y'all. And I appreciate all y'all's prayers and everything. Like I said, I'm going to be all right. I'll get it. I'm going to get it right. I'm not going to let this shit affect me too much. But I'm getting old. I got to get my shit together.
Good night, y'all.
But you hear Miss Griggs says good night. God bless y'all. And I enjoyed it, y'all. Hopefully tomorrow night we'll try to get together again. If not, we'll get together another great open panel. I enjoyed it. God bless y'all. Good night.